Yeah, we are live.
Good.
Always takes that second to kick in there. Welcome to PPG Adventure Show number 23. We have Sean Netzker on tonight.
What's
Oh, have a little audio coming back on me there. Got it fixed now. I want to talk about your new project you're starting with your kite clinic.
Yeah. Would you like to know?
Where would people start in it, and what's the best time for a pilot to take your classes, pretty much?
Well, let's see here. I got a page on Facebook. It's called Calamity Kite Clinic. Um, it's pretty much one-on-one basis. I mean, it's possible you could do a session with two people, but it's more individualized. Each person is at a different point. Your starting point may be different from Bob's starting point, and Bob might be a little quicker at some things than perhaps you, perhaps me even. Who knows? But what you do is you find those strengths, and that's just from observation. You find those strengths, you help them improve those strengths, and then you work on the weaknesses. And a lot of times, working it through that way, it helps build confidence, you see, and it makes it possible to have that aha moment. Because when that aha moment hits, it's like, I don't know, like a 2x6 smacking you in the forehead, you know. Oh, like you'll pull the glider up later, maybe days, weeks, months later. The glider does something funny, you correct it, and then you go, that's just like it's just like Sean said. You know, I get it now, it kind of clicks.
Would it be an advantage of any students that are, before they go to parameter school, coming to see you and going to go over kiting?
I would think so. I think it would be good for even experienced pilots. Guys that free fly, guys that want to free fly, guys that have a motor. Um, I what I do require is people to have their own harness and their own glider. There are different types of harnesses, kiting harnesses and free flight harnesses. I prefer the person to have a free flight harness for a reason. One, the free flight harness typically has a bag in the back. That bag generally holds air. And if anyone is unfortunate enough to get plucked off the ground and lands on their back, at least they're not potentially breaking their back immediately. There's a little cushion of air there, minute cushion.
Having,
But
having having a little cushion is a good idea.
yes, absolutely. I think that is a good plus. Another good plus is this is designed and made for flight. A free flight harness is made for flight, meaning you could possibly later down the road fly with that harness if you're wanting to get into free flight. If not, you can still learn from your glider and learn and experience new things just by feeling what the wing is telling you from the harness, from the lines themselves. I kind of explain it as a language. It's a language. It's not English. It's not Chinese, Taiwanese, whatever. It's not a language, but it is in its own way. If you really watch a glider, it will tell you, each individual cell will tell you what's going on with the wind just by watching it. And if you watch it close enough, you spend enough time under it watching it, you'll know what that feels like. Then you don't have to watch it anymore. You can feel it.
That's the difference I got after being with you the one time at Palm Bay was I don't look up at the glider anymore. I just kind of feel what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's made a big difference in my kiting and my flying.
Yeah.
I'm more confident knowing where the glider's at.
Yeah. 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 Like I said, it's got to click with you. And until it does, it'll be a work in progress. It's not easy. It's like any skill toy. You could do anything, any skill toy, anything that you want to do. If you want to do it bad enough and you spend enough time at it, you will do it. Or you will fail miserably and not be able to do anything afterwards. But that's entirely up to the individual. I hope that the things that I do and that I show people will help them in the long run to become better and safer pilots.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's making people a safer pilot and less likely to wind up tied to a tree when they're just kiting.
Well, when you're kiting a wing, you learn the language of that wing, the way that it reacts and performs. You get to the point where, and you'll notice kiting, you feel everything, whereas with the motor on your back, you don't feel anything. Okay. It's basically kind of imagine like a free flight harness is hugging your hips or your waist. Your motor, you're just sitting in a chair and the lines go directly to the chair. You're just sitting in the chair, just a blob like a sack of potatoes, just sitting there. It is. You're just sitting there. You don't feel anything. Even when you weight shift and move the glider around on the ground, you don't feel anything. It's because all the weight on your back. There is going to be a definitive difference.
I know the difference between that shit kiting harness I had compared to the one that you taught me into getting.
Yeah,
That's a world of difference.
Yes, absolutely.
It was night and day. I could tell a difference in just feeling the glider. Now I can actually feel what it's trying to do.
Well, and that's exactly what I'm saying is it clicked. Now you got the aha. You got the aha moment. See, now it's clicking because now you spent time under the glider in that harness and you're like, oh, yeah, I like. I get what he was saying now. You see what I mean? Like you're getting it,
Yeah, I know what the wing's trying to do. I can feel everything.
Now,
I
had
couldn't believe the difference.
I've had people take what I've told them, showed them and explained to them. They've explained it to their friends in other places, and it's helped them out. So I obviously am onto something. If within my first 2 years I'm able to go to Palm Bay and make an impression on everyone there, I mean, I'm surprised. I thought that I yeah I I don't know what I was expecting, but I guess
you got a few of the greats scared there. I can tell you that much.
Well, and it's not even about that, man. I think with the sport, there's a lot of competition, and really, I'm not a competitor. I like to be in the air. I like to share the air with everybody, and I like to have a good time. And as long as everybody else is having a great time, hey, good stuff.
Yeah, and another thing I've noticed is a lot of people will kite maybe an hour and they're done. The way it sounds, you're just getting warmed up after an hour.
That's not even warmed up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times, John, where I've had a glider out from the sun comes up, the sun is already set, and the parking lights are on, and I'm still out there kiting. It's gotten to where it was a challenge. I would make it a challenge where the winds would be blowing, and then they're due to shut off, and see how long I could keep the glider in the air as it's shutting off and the number that it's at
Mm-hmm.
where I can't keep it up anymore. That is really good for anybody really to understand how much wind is enough wind and how much wind is, it's gonna be, you're gonna be running.
Yep. We don't get.
Or where the wind is too much for you.
Yeah, that's the. I'm at the other end of the scale where I live. It's how low of a wind can I stand to fly in, because it's almost never zero.
Yeah.
Like 3 days of summer if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But average day here is 10 to 12 mile an hour winds. That's just a
Yeah.
normal day.
Well, 10 to 12 mile an hour winds is pretty substantial.
Yeah, it's beyond my ability. I don't get the flights that I want to get in, but I know my limits, and I'm not good enough yet. So I just wait for my days. Take them when they give them to me.
Well, that's the thing, man. You know your limits, and that's what's important. Know your limits before you find them, because if you find them, it's a little late.
Yep. I've gone
Yeah,
past
when you
them.
find them the wrong way is when it's bad.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not so much finding them; it's correcting it the wrong time, the wrong way.
Yeah.
You
I've
know.
passed my limits before, but I've been lucky and didn't get hurt. But
Yeah,
I learned my lesson from it, though.
yeah, yeah. Well, and like I was saying, Nick, that's for anyone really. I- Generally, I mean, I can't just do it for free. I would love to do it for free, but I can't. I gotta live too. Um, I'm putting out there $100 for a lesson, which is 4 hours long. 4 hours is a substantial amount of time. I've taught people a lot of crap in 20 minutes,
That,
and
I think that's cheap prices.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is, I'm not expecting to, I'm not looking to get rich or anything like that. I'm just looking to help people learn important skills that it's going to take them a while to develop. And if they're learning on their own, or if they're doing it on their own, it's a lot better when you have somebody with you to say, hey, give this a shot. Okay, position your hips this way instead.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Try that. You know what I mean? Feel that. Feel what that's like. Don't look at the glider. Look at me. Do it. Do like I was telling. Yeah, there you go. You see what I mean? That's because then it clicks. Once you do it 3 or 4 times, I sit back and go, there you go, cool. Now try this. You see what I mean? And that makes a game out of it. You see, now it's, well, let's see what else I can do. You see what I mean? Because you've gotten past this hurdle or that hurdle, and then it's this, okay, this. Now you have things that you've done that you can work on afterwards. You see, it isn't just you go to the clinic and then you're done. You got it all down. No, 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 no. For each person, it's a little different. Some people, they may get to where they're doing everything they want, but they're struggling with just one thing. Okay, well, I'll do my best to help you with that one thing. If that's the hardest thing, I mean, if you really need to do it, I mean, there's some things that I'm not going to be able to do because one, I'm in Ohio. Two, I don't have an acro glider, but that's a 360 spin. Other than that, yeah.
Yep. Like when I went down with Nick there at Alabama, I needed somebody to teach me to reverse. I asked him to work with me, and it was fun.
Ah,
With
So
my
basically,
trike, I didn't get much reverse chances, so it was something I knew I needed to work on.
I just did what I could. I passed on what Sean had taught me the days we worked together, and it worked out pretty good.
well, like I said, I just have a way of approaching it and kind of looking at it. It's a little bit different than most, and that's all right. If you kind of envision, and there's several different ways I can say this, but you can imagine it one of two ways. You can imagine it like a 900-pound gorilla, and you're pulling on its hair. And if you pull on its hair too hard at the wrong time, that gorilla is going to pick you up and slam you. And it doesn't care about you, doesn't care about me, doesn't care about anyone. That gorilla will thwack you and then drag you, maybe perhaps screaming like a little girl as you're getting dragged. Not fun. You know, that's where it's important to learn these things so that way that doesn't happen. That way you know to anticipate that by the way the glider is reacting to the wind, or even not even getting the glider out. You can also view it as something that you love very passionately, um, that you wouldn't want to hurt or harm, maim, piss off, what have you. Um, and just be as gentle with it as you would any delicate thing. That's the two ways you can look at it. And it can be one of both. Just depends on how you treat it.
As Robert would say, just like a woman, it could be delicate or it could be a 900-pound gorilla.
It can. It can. I mean, yeah, my analogies are pretty messed up, but they stick. They stick in your mind. You know, generally, I say a fat chick, but you know, I don't want to offend anybody, and I don't have anything against fat chicks. I like fat chicks just like I like skinny chicks. I like all chicks. All chicks are cool, you know. But you know, 900-pound gorilla. Everybody knows a 900-pound gorilla. You know, men, women, all of them. You know what I mean? I mean, even big people. You know, they know 900-pound gorilla. Ooh, not fun. You know, that's the way it can be with a glider. You know, if you're moving your hips in the wrong direction, or you're giving the wrong break the wrong time, or you're giving break and you shouldn't be, that could be a problem. You know, I'm trying to help people learn some of those things and some of those things that they can work on at home, and then come up with other exercises on their own. Make a game out of it. That's what it's about. Playtime, you know, kiting. There's a difference. There's kiting and there's ground handling. Ground handling is I'm not messing around. I'm going to fly. That's when you get your brake handles in your hands. All right. You can ground handle all day long, which is fine if that's your thing. But there's a difference between kiting and ground handling. Kiting is playtime. Kiting is make it as uncomfortable as you can, but still have control of that glider the whole time. You know, get in an area where it's questionable and the wind is going this way. Wait, is it blowing that way? Is it blowing from behind me or in front of me? Test some of those areas. Play in some of those areas. Find those areas. Find those areas where you can go one spot, it's going to be one way, and you go to another spot and it's completely different. And then play between those areas and go from one to the other, the other, the other, and make a challenge for yourself. You know, make a game out of it. It's fun. Playtime. Now, if I'm kiting, I don't have the brakes in my hands. Not at all. I have them stowed. I use the lines.
Oh man,
Now,
you would love my yard then.
now there's times where, you know, like for example, when it's hot, muggy, humid, damp, you know, you get a bunch of moisture and dirt on your hands. You don't want to get your lines, your brake lines really, 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 really dirty and all scruffed up and junk like that. Wear gloves.
Yep.
Wear gloves. I've kited my little Cloud 18 for 3 years. I didn't use gloves. You know, I didn't have my hands really nasty and cruddy either, but because of the temperate conditions here in Ohio, it's pretty humid a lot of the time, and your hands get all dirty and funked up from ground handling. I mean, you know, you do enough kiting and ground handling, lines get junked up after a while.
Pretty humid's an understatement for Ohio.
Yeah. Well, I'm being nice.
Yeah,
It's almost as bad as Florida.
I drove through there this summer and seen all the clouds coming off those little hills you guys have. It's freaky looking.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, we're set right at the jet stream, and because of that, the conditions change quite quickly. Often, high low pressure systems. You know, you Arctic clipper systems. You know, we get a little wild stuff. You know, I have yet to see a dust devil here in Ohio. Never seen that here in Ohio.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen tons of them on the farm.
Never. Well, I don't call those dust devils, dude. Those are go down there to Louisiana. The dust devils down there laugh at that thing. That thing there is just, a convergence of air, and it's just a little, just enough to pick up some leaves or something. It's not, and it's not carrying it like hundreds of feet up in the air. You're talking like 20 feet. Like, ooh, that was cool. Did you see that plastic baggie flying up straight up in the air for 50 feet and then just blew down?
I've seen hay a couple years ago, 50, 60 foot in the air. Ones coming through.
That 50, 60 foot in the air. Well, I mean, still that 50,
2 years ago, I was driving down the highway here in North Dakota, and a dust devil hit me in my pickup and slid my pickup sideways in the road.
Yeah, no
Literally
thanks.
broke the tires loose.
Yeah, no thanks. I don't ever want to see a dust devil, but even then.
It was something. I didn't even see it coming. I wasn't paying attention. Hit me out of nowhere. I thought I got hit by a car.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. We were up in plains up in this area, wide open spaces.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Ohio's wide open too. I mean, don't let the Dave Purden fool you or anything. They've got mountains there, but other than like Logan County, there's really no mountains, and even then, those are like hills compared to mountains.
Yep. I'm closer to EFD's territory where I live, kind of like that.
Oh, okay. So he's down there in Florida?
EFD is in Kansas, but I'm in North Dakota.
Oh, okay, North Dakota.
Frozen tundra, yeah.
He's up where everything freezes and there's so much wind you can't kite.
Yeah, that's a drag.
It is.
Well, you could kite up there, you just get drugged.
Yeah. I need your little seed instead of my big one. That way I can kite in the higher winds.
Yeah.
I think my seed would still drag you around in the wind you guys got.
Oh, it would, but not as bad as my 30 meter. I could pull my 30 meter up and be at the other side of my yard in about a half a second if I'm not careful.
Yeah, well, you get a good 6 mile an hour breeze with a 30 meter wing. You're going to go up and backwards anyway.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, a 30 meter wing would pick Sean up.
I would never suggest anyone kite a 30 meter wing. I mean, with exception to some people. Some people, if they're bigger people, I guess maybe. I mean, big people. I mean, they got to be big. I mean, generally a 30 meter is like a tandem wing. Or it's used for a trike, which again, more weight.
And I do have a trike, but it's the only wing I have. So when I just have to wait for nice days to kite.
Yeah.
Pick my days. I got to get the training in though, so I do it when I can.
Yeah.
You got a lot of kiting time up at
I don't know if you noticed that. I was having a ball with the kiting down there. It was so nice having an actual harness. I was in heaven. Had me a seed to play with.
I couldn't get him off the seed, Sean. He'd get on that thing. He wouldn't let go of it the rest of the day.
Well, that's kind of the idea. Now he knows what to get. I mean, I wouldn't suggest a 30 meter wing for somebody to kite, because the wind conditions that you would have to be in are just unrealistic in most places.
And those wind conditions are the best flying times. So I'm kind of shot right there. Like, do I fly or do I kite?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, I don't fly trikes, so I don't really have any experience in that to be commenting one way or the other as far as
I
wind
would.
conditions and things, because I just I don't do it. I don't have a trike, you know.
You know, trike would be pretty much the same as the backpack, except for we actually like it more the less wind there is because it's smoother. Because
Yeah.
we can take off at absolute zero and it's just the best flight ever.
Oh yeah. You know.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about sitting down on takeoff.
That's true. I do. I sit down every takeoff. I'll be
Well,
right back, you guys.
I'm guilty of fantasizing about sitting on some wheels and just not having to run. But then again, I only have to take 4 steps, so you know.
Well, John's had that problem. He sat down on takeoff with a backpack.
Well,
Actually, got his legs knocked underneath him because he couldn't hold the motor up.
well, that's the thing. Like, really, there's no need to sit down. The only time I can see where sitting down would be beneficial is if you're protecting a glider or its lines from, let's say, a botched takeoff or something like that. The only time I can see somebody that should be sitting down is if they have like a failure of some kind with their motor or something like that. And it's well, about the time that you're about to take off, uh, things go awry, mechanical failures, whatnot, then sit. I mean, uh, at least you protected the glider, you protected the lines, you protected yourself. The butt fan is going to spin. It's going to spin. Hey, that's all right. I mean, they're made to break anyway. That's what they do. You know how it's going to break? It's running.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom. Okay. That's
If it's running, it's going to die. That's pretty much guaranteed.
all there is to it. And you can baby it. You can make it, you can be as finicky as you want about it, but to each their own. And the mileage may vary, I mean, it's like a car, you give me a car and give you a car and see which car lasts longer. Who do you think is going to last longer? Probably my car, because I don't need to hot dog it because, well, I'm a little guy,
Hey, I'm
so,
not that much heavier than you.
well, no, but you got a lead foot. So,
Yeah, I have to get things done. I have to get there fast.
well, there you go. See? But yeah, I think ground handling is an important aspect to launches and landings because the positions that you're in at times when you're kiting or you're ground handling, you often find yourself in on takeoff or landing. Um, Generally, the first 50 feet is the most dangerous. First 50. Generally, the problems are within contact of the ground or just about contact with the ground. You can practice takeoffs, you can practice landings, you can practice takeoffs and landings like you had a motor on if you do it correctly, if you do it right. Do a bear shits in the woods stance. Bend your knees, straight your back out. Hide it like you got something on your back. Better yet, put something on your back, like say one of those spine protectors, you know, put one of those bad boys on your back. You're not feeling the harness or anything, but you're reading what the glider's telling you when you're looking at it. Oh, and that spine protector, your back is straight when you can't bend your back anymore. That's when you know you're doing bear shits in the wood stance. Bent
You
knees,
better
straight back.
practice with leaning for the motor too. Then.
Yeah, you don't move forward till you bear shits in the woods. You see, you get in the habit of bear shits in the woods. Go, 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 go. You let the motor do the pushing for you all you're doing is trumping your feet like this. You know, stomp your feet like a
Keep
baby.
yourself from face planting.
Hey, your baby just pooped his diaper and you're trying not to get it on your butt cheeks. You know what I mean? You know, that's what you're doing. You're giving the throttle and step, 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 step. You know, if you do it right, and this is the thing. A lot of guys, they sit down. This is what I don't understand. The glider picks the motor up before it picks you up. Not only that, but after time, you'll notice that you'll feel the weight of the motor off of your shoulders. And that's about the time that you're about to take off, which means you keep giving it throttle and wait till your feet are off the ground for at least 20 seconds or maybe even 45 seconds. And then you sit in your seat. You're not going to slide right out of it. If you've got your leg straps connected properly, you know, your waist straps done properly, your helmet's done properly, everything's properly, then you'll be fine. You know, I think a lot of times people make it harder than they really need to. And that would fall back to a bad habit. Sitting in the seat. That is a bad habit. And it's one that you want to avoid.
I see a lot of guys do it. They jump in the seat way early and
Yeah.
usually followed by the cracking prop.
Well, and that's a whole nother thing too, because there's times where there's lift and then there's sink. And if you happen to hit that time just right, you go to get off the ground, you're giving throttle, you're running, you get off the ground, you come back down. Full throttle, and you're still running. Or you're not, and your prop's probably spent. Or you're not, and you Superman, you know, or numerous things, you know. Just depends on the circumstance and the person. But yeah, really, it's a safe sport, but it's safe as long as you practice safely. You
It's
know,
only as safe as you make it.
yeah, don't go out in conditions that are honking. You know, don't go out in like 16, 17 mile per hour winds with a 26 to 28 glider and say you're 87 pounds. Not a good idea. You know, don't do that. You know, don't take an
Hey, I'm back.
18-meter ring out in a 20-mile-an-hour wind and expect good results, because that's nothing but bad can happen out of that. Really. Best case scenario, the glider flies out of your hands before you even get it out of the freaking bag and it gets caught in a tree. That's probably the best thing that can happen to you right there. That comes with time too, is understanding the wind and understanding the conditions, understanding your glider and what it's telling you.
You understand how not to pull it out and get drug or hurt.
You
Yeah.
on the Facebook, Sean?
Yeah.
You see that guy on I think it was Paraglider, I forget which one. The one for new pilots anyway. The guy who was trying to learn how to kite. Yes, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Oh
No, I don't believe I caught it.
He pulled it. He was doing a forward. He pulled his wing up right into the power band, and he held about 2 feet of brake on each side. He was trying to jump into the air while it was still in the power band. Oh man, I was screaming hands up at the computer screen. It was just strange. Just let it get overhead, dude.
Well, you know, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but you know, then again,
Paramotor for beginners. That's what it was. Paramotor for beginner group.
Well, I mean, obviously he's a beginner. I mean, it happens. You know, nobody's perfect. You know, I mean,
I can see what you say about being frustrating when you aren't there to tell them what they're doing wrong. You know, something so obvious to the person who's done it. It's like, hey, lift your hands up. Would have been that easy if you had somebody easier.
Well, that's a part of training though too. You know, if you're in training, you have somebody in your ear. I would certainly hope. One way or another, they should be in your ear telling you. You know, they should be giving you signals so you know what's going on. You know, or each and that falls back to the flight training, and that's something completely different than what I'm doing. What I'm doing is teaching people how to manipulate and guide their gliders to where they want it in
You're
the
giving
wind window.
dance lessons.
It's understanding a language that is different, and a lot of it falls back to kiting and actual kites, with what's referred to as the wind window. And there's a whole lot there, but uh, run down. It's, okay, you would take a cone and set it out this way, and basically the area of the cone is the wind window. You take the glider from the middle of the wind window to the edge of the wind window. What happens? Well, half of the glider starts to collapse and fall down like a wet noodle. The other half stays inflated and stays up in the air. Woo! You pull it the other way. Well, guess what happens? Well, you go to the edge of the window over there. Guess what happens? The other side collapses down a little bit. Wet noodle, and the other half is inflated. And so on and so forth. You can play with that all day long. You learn a lot too. Um, Things like that. You know, that's an important thing to pick up on. And a lot of guys, they don't see that. They don't think about it.
Yeah, Bob joined us.
Hey, what's
Hi,
up,
guys.
Uncle Bob?
John, how you doing, dude?
Yeah, I'm doing,
I
man.
got
How you
kittens.
doing?
Come here. They're sort of kind of hiding at the moment because I'm getting loud all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Bob, people were asking about you the other night.
Really? When
Yeah.
was this?
And Robert Michaels after show, people were worried about you. They hadn't heard from you, they said.
Oh. Yeah. I'll get with them Thursday. I'm a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit inside. Like I said, I got kittens. Like,
I see
Yeah.
I see that by your shirt.
Huh?
I can see that by your shirt.
yeah. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Anyway.
There's gonna be your next student there, Sean, because Bob
Well,
needs to learn how to kite.
well,
Yes,
I do.
His paramotor has about 200,000 miles on it already, and he hasn't flown yet.
yeah.
He keeps it in his semi with him.
well, and that's the thing. Like I was
Boomerang.
saying, Nick, those aspects with the wind window. Okay, when you're flying, the wind, it doesn't really matter which direction the wind's blowing, but it does. Um, it does at certain times, and when you're taking off or you're landing, that is one of those times, and that is an important thing to pick up on, because your wing will tell you if you're doing a reverse launch. Your wing will tell you if the wind is shifting, changing direction. So you know if you need to shift your hip a little bit more, or you need to twist a little bit more, or you need to, what you need to do. If you need to bring it back down for a minute, take a breath. Wait on it for a second. Wait until you like it. When you see something you like, bring it up. Then take it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Next summer, I want to work on crosswind landings a little bit. I find those intriguing for some reason. No, this is on a trike, of course.
Well, like I said, trikes are a little bit different than foot launch and things like that.
Yeah, I can land under, without even pulling my brakes. I could just let go of power and drop onto my wheels if I want. Try and do that with feet underneath you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I think it's not so much the landing in a crosswind, it's the how you handle it after you've landed.
Right.
That's the important part. You see, that's where guys get, they think, oh, it's, that befuddles me. Well, no, what should befuddle you is after you've touched the ground, because that's when it can, do things,
Yep.
Yep.
Beautiful. That's my same video I always play in my background.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay. Cool.
That's not me. That's my buddy taking off.
oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, we've all seen your takeoff with a backpack on.
Shut up. One. Are we on YouTube? Okay, I
Yeah.
can't. I'll curse later. I'll tell my dirty joke later about that. Has
I
something to
gotta
do with
joke, it's
it.
not
Has
dirty,
to has
it's
something to do with farm animals. I'll tell you that much.
Ew.
Yeah, I messed up.
I still have. I got a
Well-
broken Moster prop. Anyway, needs one.
Hey, it won't happen again. I'll tell you that much. Not the same mistake twice, anyway.
Well, it happens, and it was a learning lesson. I'm glad you're all right. And this is the thing here. A lot of guys, they worry about, the expense, the cost, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's going to break, dude. One way or the other, it's going to break. You could sneeze on the damn thing and it's going to break, depending on how bad of a snot rocket you blew at it. I mean,
Speaking of which, if you guys ever come to North Dakota, this airport that I'm at right here, that little building you'll see when I turn to run, they have a bed, a shower, and everything in there, and pilots can stay there for free. Right at the
that's
airport.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right on.
The airport manager told me you can use all that stuff. And he's like, there's a courtesy car here for you. And I was like, dude, I'm a paramotor pilot. It's still aviation, he told me.
Hey, well, that's cool. Yeah. Sounds
Now,
like a
that's
good
the
airport, man.
advantage of the
Yeah,
way
it's just the one airplane there. The guy that runs the airport has that plane. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
That just means there's less air traffic to worry about when you're flying there.
Yeah, he sounded excited. He said, like, that helps my numbers. It keeps me my funding. He said, bring
Yeah.
more people, he told me.
Well, cool, man. There you go.
Supposed
Yeah,
to fly in there.
that would be awesome.
I'd
It's a
pay
beautiful
for it.
place. It's a beautiful spot. You got the big lake to go fly by, and this is in Newtown, North Dakota, they call it.
I like the moonshine jar on your
You
strobe.
like that? You notice that, huh? Yeah, I built it myself. It's one of those moonshine shot glasses I made it out of.
Cool.
If you look carefully, you'll see a zip tie hanging off that jar, and that destroyed that prop that you're looking at right there.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Right there.
And anything that comes off the paramotor always goes through the prop and always ends up in a prop explosion.
Yeah, that zip tie right in the center, it sucked in there and it took the tip right off that prop.
Yep. That's all it takes.
But that was on my second takeoff, not this one. Happened later in the day.
Well, yeah.
So, did y'all hear about the girl who missed her payments to her exorcist?
Oh no.
She got repossessed.
Okay.
I figured that was coming.
Good one, Bob.
That's like the one my kid told me. I ate a
I had that for you 3 weeks ago, Nick.
I ate a Wookie and it was chewy. They told me.
Good one.
Yeah. There's a big 30 meter you can kite there, Sean, anytime you want.
Yeah, okay. Well,
About to do some hand kiting with it.
A 2 mile an hour wind with Sean with that wing, he'd be in the air.
yeah, probably.
Oh man. I mean, there was maybe a 3 mile an hour wind this day, and you'll see how easy it comes up just by hand kiting.
Yeah. I mean, it is a 30 meter.
You'd have to think twice about me. I'm 262.
You're
Well,
flying what, a 40? You're flying a 40 meter.
You got one?
no,
Tread, you mean
I don't
hold,
have
right?
one.
I just strap a couple of my wings together to set them up big.
I got a pretty heavy trike, and I'm a fairly big fellow to start with, so that's why I got such a big wing.
Yeah,
I'm like 220 myself, and then my trike's probably all of that too.
I fly a 24 and a 26, and that's pretty good for my weight. I'm a pretty lightweight guy. I'm only 155 pounds, and that's without the motor. So, I could have like soaking wet hair, like a mop, and still be like very, very light. I really don't have to go over a half throttle when I go to take off and I'm 4 steps off the ground.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Sean-
just
Sean-
dread the
Sean
walk
learned
to
about
the wing. I just
John
dread
learned
the
about
walk
the
to the
Kangbook
wing.
throttle problem, though. When you bring it up and it tries to kick you in the butt.
Holy fuck, that thing! I was not prepared for that power at all. At
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
Holy
well,
cow!
I was prepared for it. I didn't have any
What
problems
engine
with
was
it.
that?
Well, when I was in training, when I wrecked there, I brought the wing up. I had everything perfect. It was, a go for launch, and the guy in my ear said, "Give her the gas," and I squeezed that throttle, and that's my next step to hit the ground. I slid about 5 feet on my right foot before I fell backwards.
Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of like, you put a guy that's never ridden a motorcycle behind a Ducati, and, you say, have a good ride. And, would you go on a Ducati without ever riding a motorcycle and just give it full throttle? I
Yeah,
mean,
and
just straight up,
Oh,
it's
I
like,
would.
I mean,
in his defense, I was concentrating on trying to do everything the instructor says. It's in my
sure,
head,
sure,
and I
sure.
hear give her throttle, and he probably meant give it some throttle,
Right,
and I gave
right.
it way more than I needed to. That was
Well,
my mistake right there.
This isn't a
yeah.
drag car. You don't need to firewall it on takeoff.
And that comes to my trike experience. With the trike, you just freaking hammer down and go.
Well,
Once
that's the
once
thing.
you're up and going, you just
Well, and that's the thing that falls back to the trainer, because that's, that should be something that would have been covered, like the before you've even done it.
hmm
It walks you through it and says you're going to give a little bit of throttle. You're not going to punch it. You're
Right.
going to, squeeze it, and you're going to give it. And once you've given so much, you commit. When you commit, that means you squeeze that damn thing. You
Yep.
let it scream. And pulling it up, you go. Okay, let your hands up after you get so high, and keep squeezing.
Yep.
I got a question here from the chat there, Sean.
Yeah.
Nick Griffith asks, have you ever kited 2 wings at the same time?
I have.
No, I have not. I probably could.
I think I saw
Maybe.
somebody doing that on YouTube the other day.
But, yeah, I've never tried it.
I love that shirt.
That gets into playing the piano with all those dang breaks and lines.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the missus calls, so I gotta go.
Oh,
It was good
all right,
talking to you, Bob.
Thanks for stopping by, Bob.
I'll probably be back later if you're still up.
Yeah, we'll be
glad
here
to
for
see
a
you.
while.
All right.
Groovy. Great to see you again, Sean. Stay
Yeah,
frosty,
same, Bob.
kid. Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've got 3 different size wings, so I mean, unless it's the same wing, you're gonna have
Yeah.
2 different reaction times and 2 different things going on. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not really too concerned about it. I mean, if somebody can do it, great, good for them. They've probably been paragliding since like Phil Russman days,
Yep.
So yeah. I've only been flying for 3 years and kiting for 3 years, so
Yeah, but you
that's
spent how many years previous to that kiting other things?
that like 15 years, something like that. I've got some newspaper clippings and articles. One from a newspaper, and let's see here, that was, I don't even know what year, but there's like 2 different newspaper clippings that I have, that show team flying and things like that. One of them was the Blade, and that's a popular It's almost like the Columbus Dispatch, like the front page, which is kind of cool. So yeah, pretty neat.
Yeah. Man, that would be a nice place if we had good weather for a fly-in. Huh? Now that you say that, be fun.
There isn't too many fly-ins in North Dakota, so
And there's a casino like 2 miles from here.
Well, there you go.
It's right
There
on
you
the
go.
edge of the water.
You can spend all your gas money at the casino. See,
There you go.
Perfect.
no, we need to get the casino to sponsor the kiting competition. Put
Yeah.
a big prize up for everybody, and
On this day, I flew over a couple of bald eagles and deer and all kinds of stuff. It was
Yeah.
cool. Good day. That's a rail yard that's below or next to the airport there. They load out oil and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a good area though, man.
Yeah, this isn't my hometown, but it's about 3 hour drive for me to get to it. No, yeah, about 2 or 3. But I met this guy lived in western North Dakota and I was in central North Dakota, and we met in the middle at this airport and went flying together. It was kind of fun. Had a great day.
Yeah, that's cool.
so I was giving you can meet up with people and get a
Mhm.
flight in with local pilots. 'cause
Yeah, him and I just pulled out a map and we were chatting on the internet and we're like, "How about this airport?" And I called the manager up and he's like, "Come on down, partner."
Yeah, that's cool.
he was like, "Someone's going to fly from the airport finally."
Right?
Well, some airports there, and it depends on the airport, but some are meant for ultralights,
Mm-hmm.
sailplanes. I mean, some. One of the places that I fly at is for hang gliders, ultralights. There's a guy that flies a swap with. There's a guy that flies a sailplane. There's several different kinds of sailplanes out there. Actually, it's pretty cool. You can sit back and watch other guys fly and just relax, and
Yeah.
pretty neat. And everyone has their own like little insight of knowledge in their style of flying, or their what they fly. There's all kinds of little odds and ends that you can pick up from people,
Oh
from
man, it's
different
like
areas of aviation.
when I went to Alabama. That was one of my favorite parts at that airport. There, all the pilots would just sit and hang out all day, every day.
Yeah.
Oh man, there. What was that airplane called that guy was going to give me a ride in? That I had to go home. I missed my flight.
Oh, you missed the breezy. I got
yeah.
to fly that thing. That was awesome.
Oh man, I mean, I missed it, but like I had to get home. I was like on a time crunch. I stayed a day later than I was supposed to already. Like 10 minutes after I left, these guys all went flying. I was like,
And we were probably flying over the highway while you were driving down it.
yep. But I extended my vacation as long as I possibly could. It was a blast, though. I had fun just visiting with everybody down there. Great
Yeah,
people. I'm actually Facebook friends with a lot of those pilots now. They're not even paramotor guys, but they're on my Facebook now.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
We're all pilots at heart, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's all aviation, man.
It
It's
don't matter
the
what
same
you
thing.
fly,
It's
you're
just a
still
little
in the air.
different.
Yeah,
Yep.
it don't matter what you're flying. You're still in the air. You're still sharing the space with your brothers up there.
Yep.
Yeah, you're controlling it.
What surprised me on this day was how much faster I was than that guy with the backpack. Holy moly. I had to zigzag to keep from passing him all the time because I wanted to stay behind him and film him the best I could.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of your weight too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more the glider's loaded, the faster it's going to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the one thing about the Blackhawk wings. There's like 2 inches of total trim on it. There's not much. I don't even know where to set it at. I just kind of put it in the middle and leave it there. Not really. I don't even know if it would make a difference if you moved it, to be honest with you. Maybe for torque compensation.
Yeah, let it out one day and see what happens.
It would make a difference.
Yeah.
Everything you do makes a difference. And
yeah, they're literally like 2 inches long though. I see all these other wings would have,
yeah, but
2 foot long straps.
That's something to consider too, though, because if it's only 2 inches long, that means each correction or each minimal input is going to change it that much more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to keep in mind. So that's something to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Yeah,
going to have more, if you trim it outwards, you're going to have more forward speed, but it's going to be less resistant to collapse.
right.
And you really, I mean, if you're a new pilot, you know, I wouldn't suggest having your trims out. You know,
Right.
if you need speed, use your speed bar. You know,
I gave that
but
to Nick. To Nick.
I don't fly with a speed bar at all. I just don't pick conditions that are high enough to where I have to worry about a speed bar.
I'm not interested in going fast or doing tricks. I'm a sky tourist. I just like to get up there and enjoy it.
Well,
That's
look,
all.
the majority of my flying, I fly alone generally for the most part. I prefer to, just because there's less distraction, less things going on, less things to worry about, you know?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, this flight here that I'm filming is the only flight I've ever flown with another person
yeah,
ever.
yeah,
But there just aren't that many people in North Dakota that fly.
for
There's a
sure.
few. There's getting to be a few now. A few, but they're mostly in the eastern part of the state, so I'd have to travel to go find them.
Yeah.
I might though next summer or something.
Well, you know, people
But
get into the sport all the time, man.
there's somebody in my area who's flying because I get phone calls all the time from people. Are you in the air above my house? And I said, no, I'm not flying right now.
Must be somebody else then that's,
Yep.
in the area.
Just got to figure out who it is.
I've been looking. They're pretty low key, whoever they are.
Well, tell them to take
One
a
one
picture.
one guy was flying at night, literally night, because I was getting phone calls.
Well, that's, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's doing something that, would probably
The only
put
thing I could
somebody on the
figure,
map. And
maybe he's a PPC, and everybody's thinking it's me. I don't know if they can fly at night or not.
I don't think so.
They
I think
can.
They
If they have lights, they can get away with it.
because they have a license. Yeah.
They're numbered.
oh,
Yeah, they're
really?
tail numbered and licensed. So yeah,
I have no idea about them because I don't fly PPC.
they're considered experimental aircraft at that
Yeah.
point. They're tail numbered.
Yeah. Because I get confused. I know there's a guy around that has one of those.
Well, if they're tail numbered, then hey.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what you yelled at me for last time, Sean. My attempted tip touch.
No, I didn't yell at you. I just, I don't think that,
Well, I tried. He veered away. I didn't push the issue. I just waved at him after I came.
no, that's the right thing to do. Like if somebody's not comfortable with it and they're shaking their head no,
Yeah.
or
See, he just veered
they're
away there. And,
yeah, if they start veering
Yeah.
away, then that's a sign of I'm not comfortable with this, and that's okay too. Everybody's got their own level of comfort.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, it's like, hey, if I don't know where your skill level is, I'm very likely not to attempt or have you try to attempt a tip touch with me, because I don't know how you handle stuff, if you have an incident where you have a collapse or something, are you going to be in my way?
Right.
Am I going to get in your way? I mean, there's all kinds of things that can happen. It's a pretty vulnerable time, um, for two guys to be right next to each other or pretty close
Yep.
to each other. I'm don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like it's the most dangerous thing in the world. No, it's not, but it can be dangerous given the right
Yep.
circumstances. But I wouldn't suggest low hour pilots doing that. I mean, it's something to have an experienced guy come up, and give you a tip bump real quick or something like that. If he's coming, he's going to, or he contacts you and says, "Hey, I'm going to come out." You keep going straight,
Yep.
So yeah, I just don't think that it's a good idea for people to do.
That's like me on this one. I was avoiding that lake like the plague on that flight. I did not want to go over it.
Well, I don't fly over water. If I don't have flotation. And even if I did, I still probably wouldn't care to fly over water. Really, I mean, Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably
I
fun.
was so tempted to go out over those little islands just off the edge, but I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah,
Don't go over water till you're ready.
there's
Yep.
plenty of time, and that's the thing. Like, there's plenty of time.
I'm a lot better at controlling that glider now though on this one than I was in the last video I showed you. No more rocking all over the place.
Well, conditions change too, man. I
Oh yeah, this is a
mean,
totally different day. Totally
that's
different weather.
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
It was a little bumpy this day, but nothing that was horrible, Kind of like a driving down a dirt road, best way to describe it.
oh yeah,
I was like yesterday we went flying up Columbus. It was, we first took off, it was a little bumpy. As the night went on, it got real smooth.
Yeah, it was a higher wind day this day, but I mean, I think I was on ground speed on my app. I was hitting like 60 miles an hour on the way back to the airport with a tailwind.
go, yeah,
That's hauling it.
it
Mhm.
is hauling it pretty quick.
But it didn't feel bad, so I didn't mind. It was a steady wind.
Yeah. Well, hey, steady wind's a little bit different. It's
Yep.
it's just like getting water from the ocean. It's a little bit different than in Ohio.
Yeah. I think this big lake
Uh,
helped a lot with that. It really smoothed things out.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It was coming off the lake that day.
Yeah, it'll make a huge difference.
Now my buddy, as you can see, he didn't mind going over the water.
Everybody's got their own thing, man.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of the water, but I stay high.
Well, he was safe. I mean, he had glide to get back if he needed to,
Yeah. Yeah.
pretty much. And I don't know. I don't know if he had flotation on or not. But he's in Texas now, that feller.
Well, uh, to anyone, it's a risk or reward. Risk
Yep.
versus reward. Is the reward worth the risk? I mean, some people, yeah, some people not. Just depends on who you are, and that's okay.
Yep.
Either way, I ain't gonna judge you. You make your calls for yourself. All I can do is make calls for myself. I mean, really, ultimately. So, I really, what woke me up to, I had a lot of the local guys, making comments to me talking about, you really are pretty wicked with that glider, man. Like on the ground, you just effortless, and it makes me sick. And I thought, it was one guy or another, pulling your leg, like, we'll pull one over on, on him, make him think he's really good at it or something. Really sucks, but no, I ended up going down there to Palm Bay with you, Nick, and people really started to kind of pay attention to what was going on there. It was like, man, he's kept the glider up this whole time, and he's been out here for hours.
Yep.
In between the RVs, in between the fields, this field, that field, behind the tents, the nastiest tree line that there is there, behind the trees,
When you end up,
downwind.
when you won the kinding competition, they had to come up and holler at you because you're too busy jamming to your tunes and not looking at anybody.
Well, it's because I couldn't hear anything. I had the music so loud, like it was like as loud as it could go, and I'm just jamming, having my fun. I'm thinking this is going to be a long. I was trying to warm up a little bit before, and I actually spent more time warming up than the actual competition itself, and was like, But that's how it goes, though. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. Probably next year I'll end up losing or something. No big deal. I mean, I'm still comfortable under my wing and stuff like that, and I still have fun with it. That's what's important. I to me, it's not about the competition. That's what woke me up a little bit to maybe there is something that I'm doing that's a little bit different. Maybe I'm approaching it differently. Maybe I see it a little differently, and if I can help others pick it up rather easily, then why not? If it's something I'm good at and I have something to provide people, I mean, I hope I can provide people with something. I mean,
Or just some of the
Right.
tricks that you taught me. I tried to pass them on to John, and it made a difference in him right away.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I picked up a lot while I was down there, and he every other word out of Nick's mouth was, "Sean taught me this and that."
Well,
listen, man.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing, you know.
And
It's
and the guy's
not.
got to be open to it.
Yeah,
I'm,
it's not a rocket science, but you know, it really ultimately boils down to the person. If the person is going to listen, then excellent. If they're not, then calamity will ensue and enjoy the show. You know, you try to be nice and say, dude, I'm trying to help you out here. If you do it this way, it's going to click. But if you do it that way, most likely your thighs are going to burn a little bit. You're gonna be moaning and groaning a little bit. The glider's gonna hang back, and now it's not so fun, you know. And then if they don't listen, then that's okay. You know, try to give them the best advice that you can to make it easier on them. And if they break down to the point where they're so exhausted they have to listen to you now because they really want to do this, you know, then you're like, okay, good. Well, try this. You know, try approaching it this way, or give this a shot. You know, something unrelated completely. Give those muscles a break. Let's work some other muscles. We'll get you back on those here in a minute. Suck it up, Buttercup. Get you a drink. You know, it's all right. You know,
yep.
I'm not a hard ass. I don't, you know, I'm not a slave driver or nothing like that. I try to give people, you know, a chance and give them time to absorb and to see what's going on. You know, I'll watch them for a little bit. All right, this is where they're at. Okay, I can tell when you pull a glider up where you're at. I mean, how long you spend underneath your glider. You know, if you spend hours underneath it or days underneath it, you can tell a difference. You know, been years, been months. Yeah, you can tell a difference.
Now that's one question I still have a lot is whether it's okay to ride with your just the weight of your arms resting on the gliders or on the brakes. Sometimes I feel like I should. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't. I don't know.
Well, it depends. It depends a lot on the person, the skill, the glider, and the conditions. And you
I catch
know,
myself. I catch myself doing it more out of laziness than anything else, just letting the brakes hold my hands up, you know. But then I
uh,
realize that I'm slowing my wing down by doing that. Even,
yeah,
you know.
and well, each glider has a different stall point, and hopefully you're not pushing your stall point.
Right. I don't think I am. I can feel a difference in speed when I lift up on it, but
There should
not a
well, but
large difference.
that's the thing. You shouldn't be giving any more pressure than just enough pressure to feel pressure. You
Right.
know, and you
I
know,
constantly battle with that. I catch myself doing it. You know, it's just laziness. I just let my hands just hang on the lines. And I realize I'm doing it, and I stop myself, and
well,
everything's
that's
fine for a
a
while.
well, and that's a bad habit, and
Yep.
that will bite you
Yep.
eventually. You know, if you keep doing it, you're going to keep doing it. You're going to keep doing it a little more and a little more and a little more, and then
Yep.
it's going to get to the point where you go, "Holy shit! I'm dropping out of the sky at a
Yep.
1,000 foot a minute, more
What do
than
they
that." You
what do
know,
they tell you in
like
safety training? You got to concentrate on something for 28 days, and then it becomes a habit. So 28 flights, I got to make damn sure I don't hang on the brakes, and I'll be fine.
well, yeah, but you know, there's a lot more to it than just that, man. You know,
I know.
there's a
I'm
lot
just
more to flying than just that, and really, I think ultimately it boils down to, you know, eh, for good training, it's what's your life worth, man.
hmm
What is your life worth? Is it worth a couple $100 or is it worth a couple grand that you know you're getting something that's, you know, you're going by a syllabus. You've got, you know, this, and this. You know what's coming up. You know, you've got some quality instructors, you know, guys that have been
Oh yeah.
around, that know the sport, that are active in the sport. You
There
know,
there was a guy at my training that this one that he was at was his third or fourth training he's been to. He just loves going to trainings all over.
well, there's nothing wrong with that because
Yeah.
there's something to pick up from everyone, you know,
Yep.
and
Really good guy too.
as long as he's learning good stuff and you know he's more than willing to learn more. You know, that's the thing. You know, this
Yep.
sport is all about learning and learning as you go. And
And you know who I suggested he go to next, right?
no,
Kylo, man.
Oh, well, there you go. You know, yeah, he's a great instructor, actually. You know, I was one of his first one of his first few prodigies. So
He's just got such a good way with people. I
I'm
mean, he's
very
a people
fortunate.
person.
I'm very fortunate to be able to say I'm one of his students. So, and yeah,
I think I
He's
will
the
be
master
again
of
too.
weather too.
I think I
no,
will
he
be one of his
actually is.
students again someday too. He's on my list.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the thing. He'd be a guy that would point out bad habits,
Yep.
and
I'm
he'd
I'm
say, "Hey, hey,
I'm
you're
always
doing
open
this,"
to being
you know.
corrected.
Well, and that's the thing.
Unless it's Nick.
He,
I'm not open to being corrected by Nick.
Yeah, I kept you from getting killed.
uh, yeah.
That's a joke, by the way.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I I know Nick pretty good. I hung out with him quite a bit this summer.
Kyle's just got a good way of putting things to where it's not like it's not offensive. It's not like of a personal nature. It's just like, hey, man, I noticed you're doing this. Try this instead, or think of it
Yep.
like this, you know, and that kind of
Yep.
he's able to relate information in a way where it's easy to understand. And
Yep.
I think a lot of it comes with his background, you know, with the schooling and the
hmm
pharmacy and the, you know, social interactions that he deals with every day. I think it helps him a lot with,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, with what he's doing with the training and stuff. And I think it's awesome, man. I was actually looking forward to him actually moving forward with training and everything after I had went to him. You know,
hmm
at the time he was like, man, you know, I don't know how it's going to work out, or if it's going to work out, or if this, you know, and it did. You know, I
Yeah.
saw nothing but good for him. You know,
He seems to be doing really well.
what I worked with him and what he worked with me, good times. You know, it was a great time, and
What a busy guy, man. He must be like ADHD. Moves so much. Holy crap!
yeah, uh,
I feel
I don't
ashamed of how
know.
lazy I am when I watch his videos, just seeing all the stuff he does.
He's an
It's
active
crazy.
guy. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, he's an active guy, man. He's got a lot of hobbies and a lot of skills, and it's awesome. You
Yep.
know, yeah, yeah. He's every bit of as personable as he is in his videos. Just
And it
down,
shows. It shows. You can tell
yeah,
genuine people.
I met
yeah,
him up at EFD, and he was just awesome to hang out with.
yeah, yeah. He's a good dude
Now,
for
if he's in
sure.
the YouTube chat, I'm gonna take all that back because I like teasing. I don't know if he's in there or not. I don't have YouTube up, so
Yeah, I don't have YouTube up either, so
it's about time to turn around and head back to the airport on this flight.
I'm good.
I need coffee, man.
I am gonna have to get heading off here shortly,
Oh,
though.
I mean on my video.
Yeah, don't tell Sean about coffee. He flies with a gallon or two of it strapped to him.
I need to start. I have no excuse not to with that big trike. I have flown with coffee in the past, but I need to do it more often.
You know, I use a camel pack. I don't play around. I
Yeah,
fill it
I
up.
leave it on the ground and I take short flights, come back, have a drink, take off. I'd spend more time practicing my takeoffs and landings than I do flying.
That's a good practice, you know. But
I,
there's
oh,
times where if you're dehydrated though, or you're
yeah.
feeling thirsty, odds are you're probably already beginning to be dehydrated if you're feeling thirsty. Hence
No,
your
I just
thirst.
want coffee. I'm addicted to coffee.
Yeah, no, evidently you're not addicted that much because you don't have a camel pack full of it, you know, with you when you fly.
In the army, they used to call me Sergeant Coffee. That was my nickname.
Yeah,
Sean,
yeah.
he rolled up my driveway the first day he got here. He whips out a camp stove on his back seat of his truck and is making boiling up coffee right there in the truck.
Yeah. Well, you know, I had mine with me, so
Before I even said hello, I think I made some, didn't I?
Yeah, you hadn't even come over. You got out of the truck, you walk to the passenger side, and you're lighting up your little stove trying to make coffee. I'm like, what the hell?
it's good stuff.
It was a long drive, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Keeps you going.
Gas station coffee's okay, but the homemade stuff is the best. Just
Yeah.
that's just how I am. I just drank I got these new things called Bang energy drinks. I've been switching off with those with coffee a little bit lately. They're pretty good.
All right on.
I think
Yeah.
Tucker Gott had one in his video a while back. The Bang
I
one,
just I
when he
just
said he
drink
cleaned his
coffee.
whole house and all kinds of stuff after he drank it. There, I'm heading back downwind now. Well, I was booking it. On this landing up here, I come in. I was going to take the easy landing in the airplane parking lot, and then I thought, you know what? I'm going to try and crosswind landing on an actual runway because I've never been at a real airport before. It was tough. I made it though. Had to crab in though. And then once I landed, I said, I'm gonna see how long I can keep it on the runway and keep my wing above me. And this is before I learned how to turn into the wind and keep my wing above me while it's on the ground. Kind of like kiting with the motor.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that a little bit, but I don't have a really good practice field for it yet. I'm working on it though.
Well, you almost got the turn up there at
Yeah,
Alabama.
I've been working on it. I really want to get it. That little simulator is a little tougher to get the turn with, but I came close. Caught some rotor at the last second.
It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the field we were practicing was like Rotorsville. You'd have been right at home there, Sean.
Probably.
Yeah, you would have loved it. I mean, you'd run from one side of the field to the other. As soon as you hit the other side of the field, the wind would be coming from the other direction.
I'm used to that.
Yeah, it was fun and light, like 1 mile an hour at best.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be kiting at 1 mile an hour.
I was a sweating boy. I was hot by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Everybody was
That's too
doing
much like
forwards,
work.
102 degrees, and everybody had to run.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single day we were there we had more than a 2 or 3 mile an hour wind the whole time.
Yeah. That's good wind, but for flight, but
Yeah.
Not enough for
I'm an old man, but I was damn sure I was running for my. I was not going to give up. That ring was coming up no matter what. I did pretty good though. I got it up quite a few times. The seed was a lot easier.
Yes, after you pulled the big one up, grabbing the seed was so much easier for everybody.
Yeah. I had the right bruises by the end of it though on my arms. It was good. We won't mention the sunburn. We'll keep that quiet.
I warned you. You come up there from where you're
North
from.
Dakota?
You come down south. Yeah, you come down here in the south.
Hadn't worn shorts in like 15 years, and the first day I decided to wear shorts at 102 degrees in Alabama.
That's a big mistake.
Oh yeah, I paid for it the rest of the time I was there.
I told him that morning. I said I wouldn't wear that. You're not from around here. And next thing you know, we go back to the cabin. He's bitching. His legs are burning. He's all red.
Oh well, I just suffered through it.
It's like he was getting an exorcism when he's in the shower.
There's no crying in baseball. You cry at night, but when you're at training, you're there to train. Man. What's his number, coach?
I don't know what the hell it was you were doing in the shower, but it didn't sound good.
Those are just old man noises. You'll get used to them.
It sounded like Chewbacca in a garbage disposal or something.
Yeah. That was a beautiful cabin down there too. Holy cow. Beautiful spot.
Yeah, I get down there again. I'm staying there for sure.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty cool setup. Pretty cool little spot.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, he made one mistake when he come to training. He didn't bring his trike with him.
Yeah, it's kind of a necessity if that's what you're going to be flying.
Yeah, I should have. Hindsight's 20/20 though.
Well, he come to learn backpack, but he could have brought his trike so he could at least got a flight in.
Yeah. I was there to learn though, not so much to fly. Actually, ground handling was what I wanted to learn the most of. I mean, I've flown before. Once you're in the air, a monkey can almost do it. It's getting off the ground and handling that wing. Yeah,
for the most part. Some monkeys are dumber than others, and you put an idiot behind anything, they're bound to get hurt. I'm just saying, dude, I'm not calling you an idiot. I'm just saying, you put the wrong monkey behind the, steering wheel of a Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
That's not exactly the wisest of decisions.
I try my best to listen to reason and.
I mean, if he's a brilliant monkey, he's got a PhD or something, shit golden turds or something like that, maybe we might be able to make an exception, but
Well, I am a college professor, Sean, in my day job.
Right.
I won't.
There you go.
I just happen to teach trades, but don't tell anybody that.
Okay. I'll keep that on the DL.
I'm this scruffy, ugly looking guy amidst all these guys with PhDs. Doctor, John,
Huh?
how you doing?
All right. You know what that means? It means change your name to Doctor.
I make the same money that they do. Who's smarter
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. Well, just change your name to Doctor. So that way, you know. it
Yeah, there
says
you go.
Doctor. You know, they have
No,
to address you by your name, so they're like Doctor. You know,
there
Doctor
you go.
John. Yeah. Hello, sir. You know, Doctor John. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I teach heavy equipment operating. Is my actual
Well, see,
gig.
there you go. See?
It's fun. Did it for years and years.
Someone's
can
got to
make
teach it.
you can make them call you Doctor while you do that.
Mm-hmm.
This is even better. You see,
That
You're
would be
just
funny. The students
merely
have to address
calling
you as doctor.
merely. Yeah, they have to address you as that because that's your first name. You
There
know,
you go.
absolutely. Planning in the works, y'all.
Well, you need to
Hey,
get
I
a
got it.
doctorate in wings there, Sean.
Yeah, right.
You got the qualifications. I'm not sure where you get the certification though.
Yeah, right. I don't know. You know, I don't even know if there is one, but well, I don't know.
We should come up with one. 'Cause you're definitely the master of the wing.
You know, I don't know. All I know is I do what I do with it, and I do what I do with it because I've done it every other way that I can think of to do it, and I know what works for me, and it seems to work for others too. And if there's a different way to do it, and if it's easier for you, then I'll figure it out. If you know, there's bound to be a way to make it easier. I try to make it as efficient as possible. You know, a lot of guys when they're ground handling, they're kiting, they're running forwards all the time, losing ground, losing ground, losing ground, losing ground, losing ground, and then they get to the point where they run out of field. Well, what
Yeah.
do? Well, they walk to the glider, they grab it by the lines, and they do that walk of shame. And walk the glider all the way back to where they have room in the field to do it all over again. And they're worn out by the time they learn any damn thing because they're not learning from it. You know, you step backwards when you need to bring it up, step forwards when you need to gain ground. Limit yourself. You know, like I said, there's a lot of different ways. Uh,
I decided to change. I'm gonna go for the runway, I said, instead of the easy one.
oh, you know, I mean, yeah, there's so much that is to work on, but really it depends on where a person is at. And some people are further than others. 4 hours is a long time. I can cover a lot of ground in 4 hours. You know, what you'll
Sure.
remember, you know, that's up to you. You know, what you'll remember or what you'll learn, that's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to where you're at skill wise. It's up to whether you listen or whether you just do your own thing and you're just like, oh, okay, okay. And you're doing your own thing and you're not listening. I can't do, you know, at that point, it's like, well, dude, you know, it's been an hour and, you know, you're not listening and you're just going to wear yourself out. I can sit back here and, you know, waste another 3 hours of watching you sweat and cry like a girl, you know, or like a little fat kid that's been sat down after being at fat camp for like 90 days without any chocolate or any kind of fructose corn syrup or anything like that. And you set a brownie in front of them, you go, oh, I forgot my fork. Don't touch that brownie. And you go into the other room. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you know, just be safe, you know, learn. If you got people that know what they're doing and, you know, if they got something down, ask them. They'll tell you. And if they can't tell you, I'll do my best, you know, and that's all one can hope to. I just want to be able to help others as evidently I got a skill that a lot of people don't have. I guess, or I just manage it in a different way that is unique in and of itself, I guess.
Yep.
Like I said, so it's a language. It's not something, everybody learns it differently. And, this might mean this to me, it might mean that to you, but either way, you're still looking at it and you're still figuring things out from seeing it, from feeling it, from understanding what it's telling you, you know. That makes it a rather intimate thing, man, which is it's just kind of neat, you know. No one really understands what that glider's saying but you, because you feel it, you see it, you know.
I think
Unless unless you're
more
being
people,
heavy-handed and slapping it around, then all of a sudden it looks like you're a gorilla behind it, and then you'll get plucked eventually.
I think the more people spend time under their glider, the more they'll feel it and
Yeah.
get it. Because every day I spend more time under mine, I feel more and more of it.
Yep, that's the trick right there. Like I said, the more time you spend doing anything, the better you're going to get at it, and especially if you're doing it right each time. Just do your best to not learn bad habits. Keep it all good. Like I said, separate kiting from ground handling, and ground handling's for flying.
How about
I think the biggest problem in this sport is not people aren't spending enough time ground handling or kiting at all.
No, because it's instant gratification, and
have
that's typical of today's age.
have you worked with Josh any lately, or in a long time, or?
I haven't seen Josh. Well, I haven't seen Josh for a while. I think he's in the chat group or something like that for the local flyers here, but I have yet to hear from him again.
Okay.
I mean, seem to be doing all right, I guess. Last I heard he was flying, so it's all good.
He is flying
That's-
though.
Last I heard, yeah.
Good deal. Good deal.
But hey, guys, I got to cut this meeting short. I got to get off here, man. I got a pending meeting waiting on me. So,
Alrighty. It was
Thanks
great
for being
talking to
on
you.
tonight, Sean. It's nice
Hey.
to.
Let us know when you decide if you're going to go full bore with your training or not.
hey, thanks for having me. And
Maybe I'll sneak up that way one of these days and get a little bit of lessons from the doctor of the wing.
well, like I said, I got it posted up on Facebook. It's Calamity Kite Clinic.
Oh, you did already?
Yeah.
Calamity Kite Clinic on Facebook, everybody who's listening.
Yep.
Cool.
Calamity, CALAMITY, Kite, KITE, Clinic, CLINIC.
I'm
So,
going to see if I can find it on the internet. I'll post it up here for you after you leave here.
okay, right on, man. I appreciate it,
Yeah,
but
there
heck
it
yeah,
is.
man. Thanks for having me, guys. And, sorry I got to get heading out, but previous
Ooh,
engagement.
There's a video up here, Nick. I'll share it with everybody.
That works.
Oh, you have to enable it.
Okay, hold on here. Yeah, I keep forgetting that's one of those things that turns off all the time.
The Kite Jedi, he is. I like that.
All right, y'all. I'll catch up with you. Thanks for having me
Okay.
on, man.
Yeah.
Anytime, Sean.
All right.
Okay, I got Sean's Kite Clinic page loaded up here. He appears to have a nice little video. It's called Just Playing in Poo-Poo Wind with the Trims Out. We'll open that up. Can you see it there, Nick?
Yep, we got it good.
Just in case that's copyrighted, I'll turn that off. Yeah.
Definitely low winds.
Oh, yeah. And for those who don't know, this is probably the hardest part of our sport, is learning how to handle that wing.
It's the hardest part of
well,
any of
how
it.
to kite the wing, I should say. Well, I wouldn't say the hardest, but it's one of the hardest. Well, maybe I would say the hardest. I'd go that far. The better you are at this part, the better of a pilot you'll be. Looks like Sean has a pillow bag on his back, huh? The air one?
Yeah, he has I think same harness I have.
Okay. That will certainly help if the wing tipped you over.
It definitely makes a difference. I've fallen over on mine a few times, and a lot more padding on your butt.
Yep. That's so much nicer than running 500 miles an hour across the field. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. Whoops, wrong button. I'm trying to make it smaller. Oh, I got to, okay. Yeah, and I believe is he in Columbus?
Yeah, Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio, or in that area, if anybody's interested in getting some kite training. One of, if not the best.
He's
Check him out
definitely
on
the
Facebook.
master. Yeah, made a big difference for me in getting kiting a lot better. I try to pass it on
Very
when I'm
cool.
out. Anytime I'm out,
Yeah,
pass on what he taught me, and
I can't
I know
believe
it
I
made a
didn't
difference
know
for
about
you.
him until recently. So, oh yeah, yep. When you're done learning, that's the day they put you in the ground. That's how I look at things.
Or when you're done learning the day you put your glider into the ground.
Right. One might lead to the other. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Every time I fly, I
Sorry
learn a
about the
little
no
bit
video
more.
today. My webcam took a crap on me tonight. I didn't have time to install a new one.
You could install that new 360 cam you got.
Yeah, I got the 360 and I got another regular webcam somewhere in a box. I just don't know what I did with it. Oh, I found the charger for your laptop too. I'll be sending that to you as soon as I get your address.
Yeah, I can send you that later on here. We're not live on the air.
Gotcha.
Don't need mystery packages showing up at the house.
You never know. You might be getting good stuff.
I'd be like Gorilla getting a glitter bomb or something.
Oh, I think he sent the glitter bombs, didn't he? I don't know if he received one or not.
He sent a few, and then from what I hear, he received a few afterwards.
Oh my goodness, them guys are characters, aren't they?
Yeah, you never know what they're going to do next.
I got to make sure I follow this. It's been so long since I followed a page on Facebook. If I just like it, that means I followed it, right? Or is there a way to?
Yeah. Not sure how that works.
I'm not a Facebook expert. I pretty much go to all the PPG stuff on Facebook and a little bit of race car stuff, and that's about it. The rest of it is just people telling me what they had for dinner.
Yeah, it's always stupid stuff you get on Facebook anymore.
Okay, each kite clinic requires students to have their own paraglider and harness. Classes are one-on-one or up to possibly 2 people at a time. So this will be really, really personalized. It's like hiring a personal trainer. That's pretty cool.
But you're getting the best training.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you get from a personal trainer. They tell me. I've never had one, but I just work for a living instead of working out.
No, you never gone to a personal trainer.
I've never been to a gym, man. I guess I've been in one to do work on it or something. Never actually exercise.
I used to go to the gym years ago. I give that up.
No, I just decided to go work construction instead. Plenty of exercise. And they pay you to do it instead of you paying them.
I think doing heating and cooling, I got more exercise than I ever did in the gym. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. Try doing concrete working for a summer or something.
Oh.
You'll get some muscles.
Just hoisting heavy stuff up onto a roof. You do a compressor change, you got to rope up a 150-pound compressor hand over hand with a rope 2 stories, and then lower the next one down. You're you get your workout for the day.
I was in my I'd say late 20s working concrete with my brother-in-law, and we were out in Montana doing some work. And I'm not a drinker much. So after the bar, all the boys asked me to come drive home for them. When we get into the bar and they have one of those boxing games inside the bar where you hit it. Of course, all of us guys, we all put in a buck and tried it out and see who was best. And we went and sat down. This guy taps me on the shoulder a little while later and he says, "What do you guys do for a living?" I said, we're concrete workers. He said, oh, that makes sense. He said, every one of you guys beat the high score on that game when you walked in here. He said, like, oh, okay. Never noticed. Crazy.
It'll wear you. Anytime you do manual labor, it'll wear you out.
Oh, yeah. You get used to it, though. It's just like anything else.
Yeah, all the years of working on the farm kind of prepped me for doing the job I do now.
I was having a conversation with some bricklayers once, and apparently they were sitting over there looking at us concrete guys saying, man, I couldn't do that work. And we were actually in the group saying, man, I couldn't do that work those bricklayers do. It's just different type of exercise. I don't know how they can stand hauling the bricks up them ladders. Oh my God, that'd be horrible.
Well, it's usually the one guys that land it ain't the ones hauling it up there.
Yeah.
They got lumpers for that.
Oh yeah, the tenders, they call them brick tenders. Yep. I got offered a job doing that, and I said, let me get this straight. You want me to haul all the bricks up the ladder, bring the mud up to you, mix it when I get there, and then go back down and get more bricks and mud while you set them in place. And yet you're going to pay me less money. No thanks. I don't. That didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work for.
Oh, for peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy equipment, that's where the money's at. You get paid to drive all day.
Yeah, but nowadays you're GPS controlled. You're not doing anything. You're just babysitting the equipment.
Oh, see now my last real job I had before I started teaching, I was GPS survey technician. I'm the one who programmed all the GPSs. And you get these bulldozer operators and stuff, and they'd start bragging about how they're the greatest operator that ever walked on the face of the earth. And the next day, for some reason, the GPS wouldn't work for the first 2 hours. After they got looks like you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. I thought.
Oh, I'd have been setting the GPS off a little bit, making them gouge the ground and just having fun.
I could do all kinds of stuff to them people. I could make that GPS do backflips. You know, they always say I was lazy because I'd sit in my truck all day, but I'm controlling every machine on the job from my truck.
Yeah, you're actually making their work look good.
Yep. It's a horrible job. I used to set a timer on my phone for 15 minutes, and I'd sit in one spot for 15 minutes. And when the timer would go off, I'd start my truck up, move to another spot just to make my day interesting. It would keep me from falling asleep too.
That's one way to do it.
Yep. Get that one arm tan going. Good times. Teaching is way harder than actually doing the work, believe it or not.
I was trying to get them to understand how to operate this stuff.
Yes.
Or teach them how to maintain it.
Yeah. I'm actually integrating a lot of GPS technology into my class now. So my students will have a little leg up on the other people because the old operators don't know how to run GPS machines.
Oh, you're teaching them how to actually program the GPS itself.
Yep. I just bought one for the school. I'm trying to talk them into letting me put GPS into one of my bulldozers at school.
That'd be a nice feature.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the GPS unit, you might as well have it in the dozer so you can actually show how it works.
Yeah. The cheapest bid I've got so far to install it in my dozer is $65,000. So.
Holy Christ.
Yeah. The walk around GPS was almost $40,000 by itself. Just the handheld thing you walk around with. I got one of those now.
Expensive?
It's a niche technology. There's the supply and demand thing. There's not that much. It's hard to explain. They don't sell that many of them, so they have to jack the prices up.
I say every job I see's got the GPS unit sitting there on the side of the road and dozers running off of it.
Yeah, but like each job will have one GPS on it or one walk around GPS, maybe two if it's a really big job. You know, it's not a whole lot of sales when you count that to, a couple thousand for the whole country.
Yeah, Bob just donated $5 to the show. Says, greetings, fellow deplorable infidels, flying squirrels.
There's my buddy.
He says he's getting ready to head back to his truck, minus his kittens.
Oh, he'll have to train one up and put a litter box in there and have a traveling kitten.
I'm not sure how well a cat would work in a truck.
Probably better than a dog. You just clean his litter box when you stop at the rest area. Don't even have to walk him.
I don't know if I want a cat taking a dump in the cab with me.
Depends
It's
on
kind of a
if you love 'em or
confined
not.
space.
I think you'd be more dangerous to the cat knowing the way you are.
I wouldn't
Poor,
gas the cat too bad.
poor thing would be gagging back there in the litter box. Mm-hmm. Fun, fun, fun. Well, we're getting our second snow of the year right now already.
You got snow again.
Mm-hmm. Been snowing all day.
How much
I
you
don't
got out
know.
there so far?
Oh, only like maybe a half inch at most so far.
Well, that's not
Not,
bad.
yeah, it's just been like a steady flurry all day.
It's not been the crazy.
Yeah, no blizzard or anything yet. It's coming though. It always does.
I don't need the snow. I don't need to hear about snow in our area. We already
Well,
had it once.
yeah. You guys get it and then it leaves. Us, we get it and then it's there and it stays there.
Well, the weekend before last, I come back from North Carolina Friday night, got here about 9 o'clock, and it was, 80 degrees in North Carolina when I left there. I get into Pennsylvania, and I think it was 38 or 39 when I got there. 2 hours later, it was like 27 degrees.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
President?
no,
There you are. 21 people watching. Holy cow. You
what
there?
do you mind? Yeah, I'm here. I was,
Oh, okay. I turned on YouTube and you started talking again. I was like, didn't he just say that? Okay. Pulling a
no,
well pump?
yeah, don't mention those. I had to do one of those. Those suck to pull. Every time mine goes out, it's a dead of winter.
I've pulled the pumps out of what do you call it? Water retention ponds at the coal mines before. Those aren't any fun. Usually, when you get them about 3/4 of the way out, all the rats and stuff start coming out of the hole. It's freaky.
Well, my pump's 140 foot down the well shaft, and it has 1.25 inch pipe. So you get the 1.25 inch pipe, 100 some foot long. Figure how much water's in that, what it weighs, plus the pump weighs about 40 pounds.
Ugh. No, thank you. Then we had the last one I pulled. Those pumps on those water retention ponds are huge. They look like big torpedoes. They're about 4 feet long, and steel cable pulls them up. Well, the cable broke halfway up.
Ooh.
Yeah, we had to go get a bunch of sucker rods from the oil rigs and go down there and hook onto that sucker and pull it out with a bulldozer. Got it though. But the
So our
pump itself
pumps,
is on like roller skates because it's inside of a big HDPE pipe. So it came out pretty good finally.
the pump we use in the wells here are, I don't know, about 4.5, 5 inch diameter and about 3-4 foot long. You get the motor in the bottom and then the pump, and then you get the black tubing going down the well. Of
It
course, we
sounds
have
about like the same stuff.
there's a
Pretty
steel
close to it.
line. Yeah, they're supposed to have a steel line, and mine had, for some reason, had rope on it.
Oh
Which,
boy.
when I took it out, the rope broke towards the top. Luckily, I was able to pull it by the plastic pipe and the wires.
Ooh, you
And I
got
I put stainless steel cable on it the last time I put it in.
Yep. That's
it
what
lasted-
happened to ours. They used regular steel cable and it rusted right in two.
Ours lasted 2 years, and dead of winter again, it was like -10 out. It blew up again, and I had to go out there at night after work and pull the damn thing out and drain all the pipe out and blow it out the air compressor so it wouldn't freeze over the winter. The next morning, I went and got another one.
Mm.
I learned my lesson. Don't buy them from Lowe's.
Right?
They only last a couple years.
See here.
So what I do now is once a year, I disconnect the lines from the box here in the house for the well, and I run a resistance test on the motor, and I check it. And if there's any change in it at all, I'm going to yank the thing and swap it before it blows up.
Okay, where are you at? Oh, wow, there's an old picture. I was going to show you the retention ponds that we use. I have Google Earth loaded. I don't know if can you see that?
Oh yeah.
This is center North Dakota up here, and then this is a coal strip mine. Like here's those big drag lines like gorilla flies around. Probably bigger than the one he had, but you can see by the pickup truck next to it.
Oh, that thing's huge.
Yeah. And there's 4 of them on this mine alone.
And they're all electric powered too.
Yep. Yeah, there's another one here. This is the stuff I used to do for a living, working in these areas. And then on this job, these retention ponds is what my company was working on. Matter of fact, there's some of our equipment. This is from about 4 or 5 years ago, this picture, but this is some of the equipment my company had. There's
And all you guys did was you just rebuilt the retention ponds.
Yeah, we built new ones as they needed them. All the leftover stuff from when they burned the power at the power plant. See, the power plant was down here. Here's the smokestacks and stuff. And then they pump all in those smokestacks, they spray water down them. And all the stuff that comes out of the water goes into these ponds and settles out. And they bury them. So we build those ponds.
Oh, it's kind of, they had the strip it right next to the power plant. That's efficient.
Yeah. Yep, they strip it right by the power plant. There's a mine here, and then there's another mine up there here, and they all have big haul roads that lead it into the power plant. If I look, we can find those giant Crest haul trucks, probably. Here's one. It's kind of hard to see, but those things are massive. They hold like 300 tons for one load of coal.
And then what's that, about 20 minutes runtime for the generators though?
Yep. And then they haul it all down to this area right here. There's a little grate in the ground. They just bottom dump it and it goes underground into the power plant. And they feed it in, crush it and feed it in. This is all extra coal in case the trucks run down. They have extra coal to burn.
Yeah, like they can't have the fires going out in the boilers. That would be bad.
Yep. Like they have a rain weather or bad weather, they can run off of this instead. They just push it in the hole with dozers. Then they crush it and it goes up into here, and that's their storage area for it, all crushed and ready to burn.
Or you have the bad snows you guys get.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then this lake is a man-made lake. It's all for cooling this power plant. This lake never freezes, even in the dead of winter.
All the heat from the power plant, probably.
Yep. They pump the water from the Missouri River into that, which is straight north up there. That's the Missouri River. Pretty cool, huh?
It's crazy of a.
Yeah, it is. Right over here is where I was flying in that video we were showing. Right next to that Lake Sakakawea there.
One day, one of these summers, I'm gonna come up there and fly.
And then this is the biggest coal mine in North Dakota right here. Right there. They supply the power to Minneapolis, this power plant.
That's crazy they move it that far.
Yeah. And here's where they're mining that one right here. And then over here they have 2 mines on that one. Or 2 strips. This strip here has the biggest drag line or that's actually being used right now in North America. Somewhere on it. It's called the Big Chief, I think, or Chief Ironsides or something. There it is. Oh, this is the picture of when it fell in the hole. Cool. They never updated it. It actually fell in its own hole that time. That was a big deal. They had to take dozers and push dirt up against it to keep it from tipping all the way over.
I bet you that operator got shot or canned.
Yeah, these things, they don't have tracks on them. They have feet. They walk.
Yeah, or walking drag lines.
Yep.
One of the largest ones ever built was here in Cadiz, Ohio. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, this one's just a little bit smaller than Big Muskie, but it's actually still being used.
We have the cab for the Big Muskie at our engine club has a showgrounds out here, and the cab and work quarters is out there, and it's a mine where the thing used to be running at. They have the bucket still.
Oh, that's cool.
You can
Yeah, I
drive
did-
your pickup truck in the bucket and turn around in it. It's that big.
I did a lot of coal mine work in my life and oil rig work. Like here's Williston, North Dakota, where you hear about all the oil rigs over this way. If you go here, you'll see just oil rigs everywhere when you zoom in.
I'm surprised there's a few still running around here. This late in the year, they're still drilling.
Pretty much every one of these little spots like this are oil rig platforms.
That's all you guys got up there is oil and wind.
Oil, wind, and yeah, coal. And if you see that football shape right here at the top of North Dakota, that's where I live. The only place in the whole state with trees.
Good thing since you like to run into trees.
Yeah. The Turtle Mountains are called. They're not really mountains, they're little hills.
So you'd have had a hard time flying in Kansas with me. There wasn't no trees around.
I mean, all I have to do is like, I live, let's see, right around here somewhere. But, I just drive 8 miles south and I'm out in the flatlands if I want to fly down here. Actually, there's an airport. Let me see. Should be, I don't see it on the map, but there's a little tiny town that has an airport near me. Yeah, right here. This one, I could fly this airport anytime I want, and there are no airplanes that fly out of it. I have permission to use it anytime I want. There used to be one guy that flew out of it, and he passed away. He
So you
used
got
to
an
own,
was it a county airport or?
yeah, it's a public airport. Yep. The only people who use it now are crop dusters. They'll land here once in a while and go eat lunch. Other than that, they don't get it doesn't get used.
That's a shame to have an airport like that around. It doesn't get used. They probably get no funding because there's no one coming in and out of it.
That's why the airport manager was like, yes, please come fly. He was begging me to. He's like, make sure you sign the book when you come.
I'll make it up that way. We'll have to go fly it a few days in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy that owned this bus company here used to be a pilot. He had his own driveway leading right into there.
Looks more like a bus graveyard.
Yeah, he like I don't know what you'd call him. He like refurbished school buses and sold them to regular people. He'd buy them on auctions or whatever. I don't know exactly how he made his money, but looks like he had junk cars too.
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah, looks like some of them are pretty old though. I guess I'll have to go tinkering back there, see if they're still there. And last summer, this house right here was for sale. I was tempted to see if I could buy it. You imagine having an airport in your backyard?
That would be the way to do it.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Hell yeah.
Oh man, and there's a campground right here. So this would be a really nice spot for people. This would be a good spot for a fly-in too.
Yeah, you got a campground there.
Mm-hmm.
So people probably camp where you got the mouse right in the middle of the field there. Just put them right by the runway or camp on the runway.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy that owns what do you call it? The president of the bank is the guy that runs the airport in this town. It's a really small little town though, tiny. Not much to it.
Yeah, doesn't look like a whole lot there. But that's the kind of times to have fly-ins in because you just get do whatever you want. You can fly around.
Yeah, I mean, if a guy had an emergency, there's
Yeah,
plenty of
there's
outs.
there's no problem with not having an out there.
Right. I mean, worst you'll do is mess up some crops, maybe hit a tree row. We have a lot of these are tree lines. So you just got to be watch for those. Other than that, for windbreaks.
Yeah. You're probably pretty good at hitting the trees, so
Yeah,
I'll take your advice on how to aim at the trees.
there you go. Good stuff. Where's that flying you're going to? Florida?
Yep.
Where's it at?
Swanee, Florida.
Well, Swanee, where you at? There's Jasper.
It's actually not called Swanee. What the hell's it called? Pull my thing up here.
Near Live Oak?
Yeah, Live Oak, Florida.
Okay, right there. Pretty good size. Now, I got my mother and about 3 brothers who live right here.
Oh, you should come down then.
I can get them both on the same map at least.
Trying to name the airport is out there. I can find out real quick. I had it on here. So I
Trying to
saved it.
See if I can find my mom's house here. I don't. It's been so long since I've been home. I don't know if I can. Somewhere on the north side of town. I forget. It's been a long time. I haven't been down to Florida in probably 10 years.
Swanee County Airport's where we're having it at.
Do it again. Will you hush? Oh, sorry about my bird there.
Yeah, I'm used to hearing it.
I lost Swanee. I'll see if I can look it up. SUWAN. Swanee County
Airport.
Why does it spin when you zoom in? I hate that. Any paramotor people?
Where we park out, so where the trees out to the left over there.
Right in
Way
here?
past. Yep, that's where everybody parks at.
Oh yeah. And is up in here where the paramotor school or somewhere?
Somewhere over there. I don't know exactly where they run it at.
Cool.
That little shed right there.
Yeah.
Below the trees. That's where they have like the meetings at. Kind of below your right there.
Cool.
Yeah, that's where they have the tent set up at.
Let's see, which trees am I gonna hit? Probably these. This must be the windsock, huh? Yep, there it is. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a nice airport. Not a lot of traffic. There's a heliport there.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
like they
beside
have
where we're at.
It's like they have a nice little taxiway. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good for foot dragging.
And I don't know what all the designs are on the ground with the rocks. That's interesting.
Hard to say. You can see the heliport up there.
Those are weird looking, whatever it is. You'll have to check that out, Nick. Tell me what it is after. Unless they're some kind of, I don't know.
I think it might be ant hills.
Oh, yeah, fire ants.
Yeah, because they're everywhere out there.
It's like they're in patterns, though.
Yeah, it is
crazy?
weird.
They must be all connected underground, huh?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Wow,
I
that's
think
neat.
you step on one and get them mad, they'll bite the hell out of you.
Oh yeah, I grew up in Florida. I'm intimately familiar with them suckers. I didn't grow up in Tallahassee though. I grew up in the suburbs of it. I left there. Oh God, 1992. I left. Right there's my hometown, Quincy, Florida. I don't need the map to get around this town. There's where I played Pee Wee League football. Right there. Good times, huh?
That was back in the day.
Yeah. Trying to find my house. It's been a while. This should be the park right here. Yep, there's the park. So you drive down this road, you turn this way. Gotta find the right house here. Believe it was this house was mine right here. Can't really see it, but
Yeah, There are too many trees there.
Yeah. This is a kitty litter mine.
Kitty litter mine.
Mm-hmm. Or floor dry if you want to act like you're manly, but same stuff. And then this is the airport for that town, but they do a lot of skydiving at this airport. It's like their primary thing. Oh yeah, the School of Human Flight. There you go. Used to watch the skydivers all the time when I was a kid. Used to just fascinate me. Man, that's not a very big target for skydiving, is it?
No, not very.
Strange. They sure do it a lot there, though. Man, that seems like another lifetime being that far down there. The last time I lived in Florida, I lived right here, though. Hosford. Nice big town, huh? I don't remember where my house was, though. I think it was here. Yep, there's my house. Right there.
There ain't much out there.
Yeah, this little town is like right near down south of here. Is what they call Tate's Hill National Forest. There it is, right there. Or State Forest, excuse me. They got an airport too.
Nothing wrong with that.
Wouldn't want to crash out here though, man. You'd be eaten up and spit out before anybody ever found you.
Close to the water though.
Yeah. Well, this whole national forest here is just all swamps and trees. No humans for miles. That's how it got its name. The guy who lived there got lost in that forest, and some people were riding along the road, and he came out of the woods, walked up to him. He said, "My name is Sebe Tate, and I just came from hell," and he fell over dead. And that's how it got its name. Sounds like a wonderful place to go camping. Crazy. Dog Island. That's where Eric likes to go, or the guy from Aviator likes to go vacationing. Him and his family.
Dog Island.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful place. He
It's a
flies
good place to
paramotor
fly.
there. Yeah, he
Yeah,
flies.
seriously.
If you look at like some of his really old Aviator vids, back when he was with Blackhawk, he used to fly here a lot.
Really
You
be a
know-
place to fly
Yeah,
all
you
day
can
long.
Yep, and you can only get there by boat. No bridge. There's only like maybe, I don't even know, but there's not very many houses on this island. Just a few. A lot of them got
No,
destroyed in the last hurricane.
Who would want to live out there when you have to have a boat to get to it?
Well, a boat or an airplane. I think they have an airport on this island. Somewhere. They're supposed to. I just don't know where it's at. I think it's a grass airport.
Yeah, it's
Right
probably
here,
the
right.
sand.
Right here. And then I hear there's like a junkyard with old cars and stuff that just broke down. Nobody ever bothered to do anything with them. Somewhere on here. Yeah,
Well,
right
probably
here.
everything you
Yeah.
take out there is expensive.
Yeah, here's
Think about it.
the car graveyard for the island right here. Isn't that crazy? If you need a part, you just go get it off one of the cars there. I don't know why you would even need a car on this island, but okay. Golf cart would make more sense.
Or a paramotor.
That too. That'd be
I
so
mean, you
fun to fly that. That would be so much fun to fly this place. Someday before I die. The world is that? Oh, it's a house. Okay.
That house? Yeah, it is.
On the sand though. Seems like it wouldn't be very permanent.
It's gotta be on
Strange.
stilts. It's gotta be up on stilts.
Oh, it would be a requirement. You know, this might be the restaurant on that island, and I know they have a restaurant. I don't know if it's in active or being used or anything, but
That'd be strange.
mm-hmm. Fly in, go eat, and fly out. Popular fishing spot.
It'd be fun just to go there and fly.
Yeah. And then this is St. George's Island. You can fly here and you can drive to this island. There's a state this side of it's a state park. And then you go down. Here's where you come across to get onto it. But
Yeah, we could drive out to that one and fly to the other one.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you can drive right onto it. It used to be a toll bridge right here, but they took it out of service. Now they have a regular highway.
It's probably extremely expensive to live out there.
Oh yeah. Almost like I'd say from about right here to the east, they're all like vacation rental houses mostly, where you pay to stay there for a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, beautiful place. I vacationed there a little bit when I was younger.
It's probably how they pay for having a house out there is renting it.
Exactly, like an Airbnb kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're poor like me, you go down here and you go to the state park. You just pay to hang out for the day or go camping. There's camping at the state park too.
Well, most state parks are free to camp, aren't they?
I don't know if this one is or not. If you have to pay, it's not much, but they have washing facilities and everything. The campgrounds are usually up in this direction on the bay side.
There's a big beach there. You can fly that.
Oh yeah, beautiful, pure white sand beaches too.
Better
Like
to sandblast your prop with.
Like walking in sugar.
You got to get near the sand where it's wet, because I tell you, walking in that, trying to take off in regular sand would be hell on you.
Oh, I bet. Someday I want to try flying at the beach. I hear it spoils you, but I want to try it anyway.
It does. It ruins you. You don't want to run anymore for takeoff. When you pull the wing up, you walk forward 2 steps and go straight up in the air. It's the ultimate feeling.
Wow. And then it's just butter smooth when you get up there too, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
for the most part. Every now and then you get in a rough area.
This is where you want to go. They call this the cut. You can't go over here unless you have a 4x4.
Or a paramotor.
Yeah. Cool, cool. The reason they call it the cut is that all the shrimp boats come in right here to go into the bay.
Oh, shrimping's a big thing down there.
Mm-hmm. And then Apalachicola Bay is where you get most of your oysters from. Good times.
There's not much fishing up where you're from, is there?
In North Dakota?
Yeah,
Not really. There's some, but not.
nothing commercial.
No. And here's where you go for spring break, Panama City.
That's where you go to fly during spring break.
Yep. Yeah, this is like the commercial part of the northwest coast of Florida over here. Or what do you call that? I guess the touristy part.
Yeah, vacation spots.
Yep.
Spots to avoid.
The Golden Coast or the Forgotten Coast, they call themselves, I think. Something along that. The locals locals come over this way. Mostly. It's a little less
Most
crowded.
people go for spring break, they go to Daytona Beach. And
Yeah. Daytona or Panama City. That's the 2-1. Daytona's down this way though. Over more towards
no, Daytona's way down. The other side of the where I flew at Ormond Beach is right up from Daytona Beach.
right there.
Yeah, if you look for right above Daytona is Ormond. That's where I flew at.
Mm-hmm.
And you can fly. I flew clear of the pier at Daytona Beach. Went down around the pier and back up.
Nice.
And the cool thing is you can literally drive your truck and trailer out on the beach at Ormond, park, and take off right from the trailer.
Nice.
I will be
Super
doing
nice.
it again.
Yeah, this is where oh, what was that that big fly-in they quit having in Florida? The one that used to be the biggest one that Do For You started. I think that was over in this Panama City area.
Yeah, Beach Blast.
Yeah, Beach Blast. That was up in the Panama City area, I believe.
Supposedly they were going to do one similar to it in Clearwater this year.
Okay.
And I don't know if it
But-
happened or not. I think they ended up canceling it.
Yeah, the Rona. Well,
Yeah, they had stuff on it online, and I put in to go to it, and then never heard anything about it. I was like, they must not have done it. And it was going on the same week I was up in North Carolina for the flying up there.
Well, I don't want to jinx this, but they put out in the news that there's a new possible vaccine that's 90% effective coming out. I got to go into work tomorrow, though. Got to meet a guy from Utah.
Oh yeah, you're getting your new simulator set up, aren't you?
Yep. Well, he's coming to have a meeting with me. They're gonna custom make it to my specs, so they want to have a meeting with me about it. Apparently.
How long is it going to take you to get that in?
Oh, I don't have a clue. Probably a few months. I got to tell him I want Steam on there with full VR game support. When the students aren't around, I can be playing VR games that way with a motion platform. That'd be fun.
Flight simulator.
There you go. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I was so happy when I found that cord for you today, though. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see if we can install Linux on it and turn it into something cool.
Yeah. If not, you could use it as is as a good web surfer. I mean, it's brand new, so.
And this isn't sitting around on your desk.
Right. I have 2 or 3 real laptops, so I'm not worried about a damn Chromebook. Pardon my French.
I got tons of laptops. Problem is they're all production machines running editing videos constantly. I'm still about 2 months behind on videos right now.
You ought to just go ahead and build yourself like a workstation for doing editing. I mean, like with, I don't know, like a Threadripper or something in it, and
I have 3
really good GPUs.
I have 2 of them that are decent that come from the TV station up here.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got one that I put together myself. Plus I got the gaming laptop you've seen that I use. But
Yep.
of course, when I'm doing the show, I can't be editing a video.
Right.
One laptop I have associated just for 360 videos.
What is that thread core? Like 32 cores or Threadripper? I mean, something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you're also looking at what, $10,000.
Crazy Uncle Bob was dancing with smoking parents in Panama City, yeah?
That'd be different. Wonder what they were smoking.
Yeah. Unless they were parrot heads from Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, you know what they're smoking.
Oh, yeah.
If they're hanging with Buffett, it's got to be the reefer.
I hung out with Buffett when I was in high school. I'm sure he doesn't remember me, but he gave me an egg.
Damn. I
was proud of that thing. I don't know what ever happened to it. They had, I forget what the promotion was, but they had like a bunch of famous people and they gave them these, I don't know what you call them. They're like an ostrich egg. They decorate. They're like really fancy.
They're cut out or whatever.
Yeah. And I was a huge Jimmy Buffett fan as a kid. And my buddy worked as a caddy at the golf course in Tallahassee. And he heard Jimmy Buffett was coming and I talked him into letting me take his place at work that day. And I was his caddy for the day. And he gave me an egg afterwards. That was cool.
That'd be different.
Yeah. I was only like 13 or 14. Great day. I knew nothing about golf either, by the way. I was a little nervous, but I pulled it off.
Well, it ain't hard.
He
You
said he
hand them a
was,
club.
and then they say, "What the hell? You handed me the wrong one." Hand him a different one. It's more about drinking than it is hitting that little white ball. I can tell you that much. I learned that much in my first day.
Everybody knows that.
My only day as a caddy.
Yeah, when they're asking you to get them a beer more than they're asking you to get them a club.
Yep. Go chase down the girls on the beer cart. Run back. That's cool though. They have carts riding around selling you beer all over. It's neat. Yeah. Good times. Yeah, I'm tempted to try out that 360 camera. I haven't even cracked the seal on it yet. Maybe I can mount
See
it to my
how
head.
it works.
Mount it to my head and use it for a. It's like 3 feet tall.
Good
Oh,
Lord.
it's crazy. Well, the camera itself is small, but it has a big speaker that's underneath it. The big round vertical tower thing.
Yeah. It's a conference style speaker, probably.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's for.
Or Bob would come back in here with us.
What's
What
that?
happened to him? I figured Bob would be back in here with us by now.
He was talking in chat a minute ago.
Yeah, I see him. He said they were smoking Pall Malls, actual parrots. Damn. Who the hell taught them parrots that filthy habit?
This is that camera that I have.
Come on here.
Can you see it?
Oh. Nice.
It's going to show like the different. It has facial recognition and a bunch of other stuff. That'd be
That'd be
awesome.
interesting to fly in.
Yeah.
Oh, to
just
fly in? Yeah.
Set it up on a table and everybody could just have a round table and talk and everybody can
Mhm.
hear it. No headphones or nothing needed. It films in
8K capture
8K.
quality.
Yeah.
Holy.
And I think it streams in 1080p. Oh yeah, automatic lighting control. I see why it costs so much now.
Mm-hmm.
12-foot range on the mics, it says.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. These are the different scenarios you can set it for. You can have the panoramic or individuals. That'd be awesome for streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We'll have to try it out
Mm-hmm.
this coming summer.
Bring it to a fly and we'll do a show with it.
Heck yeah. Pretty neat.
You should grab a few more of those from the school when you're in there next time.
I might be able to do that.
Yeah, you'll be there tomorrow.
I am. I have to give a tour of the whole building tomorrow to that guy.
Tell him like, hey, talk to your IT guys. Hey, I didn't get my camera.
Yeah, I'll talk to a different IT guy.
Mm-hmm. You're probably like, oh yeah, here, have one of these. He'll hand you a box.
That's how I got the first one. Yeah, well, I didn't even ask for it. I said, I need my webcam broke. I need a new webcam. That's all I told him. And he handed me a webcam, a document scanner, that 360 camera. He handed me all kinds of stuff. He's like, here, just had my arms loaded down with stuff. Like, okay, thank you.
Like, does this come with a bag?
Right? That document scanner is cool. I got that so I can take my GPS module and I can set it on the table and I can film the straight down at it and I can show the students how to work the controls on the GPS through the live stream.
Okay, it's one of like the cameras you said above.
Yeah, it's like an old-fashioned overhead projector we had in high school. Us older guys would know, but it's a camera that faces straight down.
Yeah, I actually have one of those here. I have an older one.
Mm-hmm.
This one's old enough. It's made to do actually put regular paper under it.
Yeah, this one you can do that too, and it'll actually scan the paper into a document form if you want to. There's several options.
Yeah, it's got the OCR built in and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real high-end machine there.
Yeah.
Ones I have, I think, were made more for putting up, like plugging into the projector, and when they started using projectors in the classrooms.
Yeah. When the Rona came, they were scrambling to get us technology so we can teach from home more effectively. So they just grabbed everything they thought we could possibly ever need. We'll take 50 of those and 50 of those, kind of a deal, you know.
Mm-hmm. They bought way too much, and now they don't know what to do with it.
Yep. And a lot of these older professors, they've never taught online in their life. They don't even want these. They can barely run their webcam.
Those are the ones that are going to have a problem.
Mm-hmm. That's like the other teacher that's in with me. I do all of his online stuff for him. And I send him the code to join the meetings and he talks with me.
He can't handle the new high-tech stuff.
Yeah, I do all of his. I upload all of his classes into the classroom files and everything for him. But he's a great guy, and I'd hate to lose him, so I'll do anything I can to keep him around. He forgot more about running a motor grader than I'll ever know.
That's the bad thing. These old guys that's been around forever forget how to do this stuff.
He's always threatening to retire on me, and I beg him not to every time. I don't want to do it by myself.
He's going to retire at one point or
If I keep doing most of the work, he has no reason to retire. He just collects a check.
Oh, okay. So you're going to do all the work and.
Well, he teaches. He likes teaching. He just doesn't like all the hoops he has to jump through for the modern technology nowadays. Once we get one-on-one with the students and say, here's a motor grader and here's how you run a motor grader, he excels in that part, Or here's a bulldozer. Here's what you have to do to run a bulldozer. The actual stuff where they really learn something.
Yeah, but how often do you do that? Because nowadays you can't do any of it.
Well, the Rona's put a big old shoehorn in that right now. But we actually had some outdoor time with my students. But I was outdoor with my students last week or week before last. And 3 days later,
cold.
3 days later, 4 of them called me and they're in quarantine.
Oh.
Yeah. So now I'm locked in the house again.
How many students do you have in your class?
Total of 17. I've been doing them in small groups of 4 at a time. And one group of 4, every one of them got it. But they were like buddies in regular life too, so they hung out together all the time.
That makes it bad.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, I'm pretty good about wearing my mask when I'm at school, because you never know where everybody's been. I know I'm just postponing the obvious, but I'm hoping till they get where they can cure it real easy before I catch it.
Yeah, you're going to get it at one point or another. Everybody is.
I'm just waiting for them to come out with a really good treatment plan for it.
I don't know if it'll ever happen.
Oh, it will. Now that the election's over, they'll come out with a cure. Oh, I promised myself I was not going to be political. I'm sorry for that. I truly believe that the powers that be have postponed the cure till after the election.
Mm-hmm. Or postponed saying there's nothing wrong with anybody.
And I think a little bit was on both sides, to be honest with you.
I'm just getting sick and tired of it.
Yeah, I don't even watch the news anymore, any of that stuff. It's hard to get away from it because everywhere you look, there's something. But
Yeah, it's always, one thing or another,
yep,
or why they're going to cancel one of our events, which I'm sick and tired of.
I truly believe by next summer we'll be a lot more open than we are now. Not perfect, but a lot more.
I hope.
I'm trying to be optimistic on this one.
We're not getting anything done like this, I can tell you that.
Nope. No, sir. I lost my YouTube video. Where are you at? I think the YouTube pulled you down. Oh, there you are. There we go. I found out today that, or recently, that I can't be a CDL driver
Why is that?
because of my vision. No, I could get a waiver because I have one eye, but you have to have 3 years driving experience to get a waiver. But you can't get a license without a waiver. I don't understand how that works.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it's government for you. Remember, I was telling you I wanted to start doing that U-ship thing where when I go on para trips, I can get paid to go on the trip by hauling stuff. Well, here I sit. I can do like small stuff, but the insurance is really big on it. Like if I got a van where I didn't need a CDL,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that would count as driving experience. I don't know. But even for that, you need a DOT medical card and you need a waiver for your vision. And it sucks. It's funny how they have all these disabled people programs where they can't deny you employment. They can deny you a damn driver's license. Dang government.
Yeah, you can't make money.
Yeah, I've lived my whole life. I've never had a single wreck or an incident. I think I can drive, just because I was born with one eye or one eye that works. I could see where it would mess somebody up who had good vision their whole life and then lost it. But I never had it in the first place, so I don't know what it's like to have two good ones. I've adapted the way I do things over the years.
Oh, so have I. I got that one eye's all screwed up.
Yeah. Never noticed. Mine's pretty obvious when you see me, though.
No, my right eye is like 90% gone.
Yeah. I should just get mine straightened out. Then nobody would ever notice. But that costs money and I'm cheap.
Yeah, I don't worry about it.
I should be like that one senator and wear a patch. Look cool. Then I could be a sky pirate with gorilla.
Yeah, they'd probably take you right in.
Yeah.
They get to watch them Sky Pirates.
Why was that held for review? My God.
What?
Bob's last statement there, it was held for review. I had to approve it. Freaking YouTube. I wonder which statement in there, political or retard, was what was holding it.
Yeah, really?
I don't know. Crazy.
But they have gone full retard.
Yeah. Well, apparently that's proof of it right there. When YouTube holds that kind of stuff up. You hear there's a new social media platform coming out. Well, I guess it's not new, but it's getting popular now. Parlor. The heck is it? Parlay or Parlor or something like that.
Something better than Facebook.
Yeah, it's supposed to have no censorship on it, or hardly any, unless it's like really, really bad stuff. But it's full of mostly conservatives right now. So they're the ones who've been getting censored, you know.
I'm getting tired of the way they censor everything.
Yeah, it's pretty much going to be split in half pretty soon. The internet. You're going to have Facebook for the liberals and something else for the conservatives. You can't play nice, apparently, together. I'm waiting for the conservatives to start more news outlets.
Just we need more fake news.
Yeah. Well, could you imagine one that was like truly neutral news outlet that didn't take a side? That would be people's heads would explode.
Yeah, real news. That'd be crazy.
That'd be hard. The only way to do that would be to hire people who are obviously extreme on both sides and let them duke it out every night on the news. I don't know. That's all I could figure out, you know. Let people hear both sides at once. That's the closest way I can see to make it work. It'd be a big argument every night at the news, I guess. But that's all right. At least you get both sides.
I'd rather get something that's resembles news.
Yeah. Then people could listen to both arguments and make their own decision. Imagine that. Instead of just hearing whatever the news network wants you to know. I haven't watched mainstream news in probably 5-6 years, maybe longer.
I watch it just for a laugh.
Yeah, I'll see the clips on the internet of it, but I don't actually turn the TV on to watch any of them. Shoot, my TV's not even plugged into the wall right now. That's how bad it is. And I don't even remember the last time it was plugged in.
It's bad. You've seen the rec room. I get the two TVs out there. The flat panel hanging up is hooked to a Roku and a computer, and the big tube TV's got a cable box on top of it. I just turned it on the first time like 3 weeks ago, and it's probably been like 2 years prior to that it was on.
Yep. My wife watches in the living room. I have one of those Android TVs. She watches a lot of Netflix and stuff on it. That's about it, though.
Well, I got that. I have the Roku plugged into that one flat panel TV, and I also have the what the hell you call it? It's an Intel Nook. It's basically a little box computer.
Okay.
It's nice. It's about the size of a hockey puck, but it's square. It's
Oh,
a
you see-
little fanless. It's an i5 with 8 gig of RAM.
Speaking, I saw a little article. I didn't read it yet, but some people are crypto mining with Raspberry Pi 4s now.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how far those little guys have come. I still haven't gotten one yet. I'm gonna have to get one.
Dude, buy the 4.
Yeah, I know. I have several.
Smoking fast.
I have one of every one of the other ones, but I don't have the 4 yet.
But make sure you buy the high dollar one, the 4 gig model.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I tell you, I've got one of the 2 gig and one of the 4 gig, and there is a big difference.
Oh, I would imagine.
Not just in my test platform. I've got like 6 of the 4 gig ones running different things here in the radio room.
I'd like to check out that Banana Pi too someday.
I have one.
You like it?
I messed with it for a little bit just as a development platform. There's there's not as many people using it, so there's not as much code out there for it. So if you're sitting there trying to do things, you're going to be doing it all yourself.
Mm-hmm. And Arduino, I'd like to get a few of those. I want everything. I'm a tinkerer.
The Arduinos are like, yeah, everybody has to have those. But no, you want to give you a couple while you were here. I had probably 4 or 5 of them sitting here a while back.
Oh, shoot. I would have took one. I'll trade you an Arduino for that laptop. How'd that sound?
I could do that. I even have something that's even more up your alley. I got a Kukox sitting here.
Okay, I can't see it, but what is that? I'm not
Hold on
familiar
here.
with that one.
It come out way before those did. Turn my VV off here.
Never heard of that. It's ARM. It's Android based, you
Uh-huh.
know. What does it run similar to an Arduino or more like a Raspberry Pi though?
More like an Arduino.
Okay. Because some of the like that okay, looks like an Arduino. Like that pellet stove that I automated with the Raspberry Pi, it would have been so much easier to do with an Arduino. But I just didn't have one. I have a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus running that pellet stove is way overkill. And it took me like 2 weeks to write the code for it.
Yeah, you'll write code. If you want to write code, this is the thing to write the code on it.
Well, the problem I had with my pellet stove is I had to control the feed motor with a timer. I had to control the fan speed and the igniter. But the way the Raspberry Pi is set up factory, it does one code. When it's done running that code, then it runs the next one.
Yeah, it's ladder logic, step logic.
Yeah.
One then the other, then the other. Yeah, it's got a step from one to the other. You can't
Right.
run
So
multiple processes.
When I was writing the code for it, I was running to the issue. You know, I'd turn the igniter on, then I'd set the timer for the pellets. You know, run on for how many seconds, then off for so many seconds. You know, for different burn rates, and it would stay in that loop. It would never get out of that loop. It wouldn't go on to the other one where it would kick on the fans and stuff. So I messed with it and messed with it and messed with it. I finally got it. I had to actually put the code into the root. It took me a lot of work. I met some really smart people that were helping me with it though, on the internet. They were like
That's the
programmers for a living.
That's the one thing. Yeah, that's the one thing when it comes to Raspberry Pis and Arduinos and all that. Everybody that messes with them does like massive projects.
Yeah. Yeah, they're meant for schools, but people do some awesome stuff. Those people were really excited about my project when they found out what I was doing with it.
Yeah, they probably wanted code. They probably wanted the code for it too.
Yeah, I shared everything with them. They helped me write the code, but we wrote it. There's 3 of us together, and we wrote it as a group. We kept adding different ideas and different stuff in there, and we finally got it to work. And then I also had the issue of getting it to run automatically when I turned it on, which is not native to a Raspberry Pi. So I had to write. That's where I had to write it into the boot of the Raspberry Pi itself.
I've got tons.
Where Arduino's, you write your code, and the second you turn it on, it starts running its project. You know, it doesn't.
The other one I like to play with are these.
Something robot I see on it.
It's a BeagleBone.
Man, you got some I've never heard of.
Look it up. It's a BeagleBone Black. It's
Cool.
These are super high dollar.
I'm thinking Arduino would be the way to go to design your own fuel injection system for a paramotor. I think it'd be a good basis for it.
It would be the controller.
Yeah.
I got one. It's sending you brand new, never been out of the box.
It's got the
right
right
sealed.
It's got the right form factor. The inputs and outputs are right. I mean, it can be done.
I got one here. It's a Mega 2560 R3, brand new in the box.
Cool.
It's an Inland brand.
Cool.
I think I bought it for the because it comes with a bunch of like resistors and shit. I was at a ham fest. They were selling them cheap. I bought like 5 or 6 of them. It was
Nice.
cheaper than buying the resistors.
I don't know if you're into cars, but oh yeah, you are. You're into a little bit, but I was designing the. I ran a Holly Terminator X on the race car, and my partner, he's like, "What all do you need?" And I said, "Well, in order to get the alternator running, we need to put a this." I gave him a part number for a resistor. And so we need one of these resistors to keep the alternator from overcharging, to put it in line. Well, he's like, "Well, I'll order two," and he didn't say anything to me. I got it. And I was like, "You do know there's 1,000 resistors in each box, right?" Well, if I ever need 2,000 resistors, I'm good to go.
I'd go through that in a few weeks when I'm building stuff.
Yeah. I might need to put one more resistor in line. It's still a little bit high on my charge rate. I'm at 14.9 when I'm running right now.
Why don't you put a pot in line where you could adjust it?
I could, yeah.
That'd be a better way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, my furnace controller here is it's a Raspberry Pi that I built for a thermostat upstairs. There's a Raspberry Pi down here. They talk between Zigbee network, wireless to each other. And then there's an Arduino that's actually doing the relays. So the Pi
Bob wants
talks
to know where you get all your wonderful toys.
Hamfest.
Yeah. The last summer, one of the other race car drivers, he had the older MFD box, and he wanted to hook up the two-step. They use pills on those. And he's looking, he's like, I don't know which RPM two-step to get. I don't, this and that. And I said, hold on a minute. And I ran home and I just dug through my electronics pile and I found a pot, soldered some wires on it, plugged it into his pill box. And I said, now just hold your brake in and adjust it to where you want. And I told him, don't buy pills.
Mm-hmm. All those pills are is like a resistor in them.
Yeah, they're an inline resistor. And they're like $40 a pack. I got him a free potentiometer and he had unlimited difference or change in his two-step after that. Took me like 2 seconds. I even drilled a hole and put it on his dash so he could adjust it right on the fly if you want.
I got a new thing I've been playing with here for a few months, part of my testing. You get a kick out of this little device.
Yeah, EDB. Yeah, EDSB.
No. It's a USB meter. And what's neat, it's got a micro USB on the side here. You can plug into your laptop, but you plug in your power source and you plug whatever you want to power off on the bottom here. And it shows you what voltage and amperage is going through it.
Oh, okay.
And graphs it. So I can charge a battery up and tell you how much it held.
Nice.
It's also got a resistor bank on it. I can discharge something through it. So if you're playing with battery packs.
Yep. Check their amp hours and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's got all kinds of menus in it.
Pretty cool. But I was just YouTube took me down
amp hours.
YouTube took me down a weird path last night. I was watching them building home battery packs for off grid. It's kind of neat. I still want to modify a car heated seat for my paramotor someday. I think that'd be awesome.
That'd be different.
I don't think a standard paramotor would have enough power to run it, though. I'd probably have to run a small alternator. But then with that small alternator, then you could run all your GoPro and everything off of it and not have to worry about batteries dying in flight.
Well, I've been using this to test. It does everything in milliamp hours and milliwatt hours. I can charge a battery up, like a cell phone, and tell you exactly how much it held from totally dead to totally full.
Yep.
Or if I'm doing,
those KTM motorcycles, they have a small alternator on them, right?
Yeah.
So if a guy were to modify one of those, put it on a paramotor engine, then you could have 12-volt source for your power. You could run all your GoPros, electronics, phones. You could even wear a heated snowmobile suit and plug it in if you really wanted to go crazy.
What else they did on that? What do you call it? What's the name of that one? What do you wanted?
The
The
Nirvana?
Nirvana. Yeah, they have that on those.
So it has a charging coil built in too.
Yep. They have a full charging circuit on them damn things.
See,
I
I
think
told you it's awesome.
it's more trouble than it's worth. I think you get so much. You have so much on them, so much to go wrong.
I just love it, man. I fell in love with that thing looking at it. The heart wants what the heart wants.
They're just so damn expensive.
That's why I was so excited to see that one. A fixer-upper mechanic special. That's the way I like. And I love tinkering. Oh my God, I love tinkering.
Oh, you'd be tinkering with that thing for a long time.
I mean, I bought, you see my blue pickup that I just bought right before I went down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed or not. I had a wideband oxygen sensor installed on it the day after I bought it, so I could start tuning on it. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, so you're
I didn't
you
even
probably
own it for a
tuned on it
day.
right away.
I didn't even own it for a day yet, and I was already tuning on it.
That's bad.
I'm sure you noticed all the wires in the front. I didn't have them tidied up yet because I just got that truck like right before I went on that trip. I didn't even have tags yet when I went on that trip.
Yeah, I know. You barely had it any time at all, and
Yep. Well, I had
You
had
might-
it long enough, but it was during the Rona and they closed down the DMV, so I couldn't get plates at the time during the
I had
first
it for what?
lockdown.
you had it for 2 or 3 weeks before you headed to the trip, and then you
Yeah.
go spank it on those hard roads and.
Yep.
Trying to keep up with me.
Oh man, I wasn't even trying. I mean, I know you got the big power programmer, but I got to say that engine in that sucker it's got the snort when you want it.
I'd still take you on the straightaway even with the trailer on.
You probably would, maybe. It'd be a close
No,
call though.
No, I guarantee I would. Look at the
let
torque I can produce compared to what you got.
Let me pull over and pull out my programmer first, and then we'll talk.
And
I was running it on pretty much factory program on that trip because I wanted to save fuel. I didn't want to.
Unless you're starting to talk, close to 2,000 horsepower out of your motor and 4,200 pounds of torque, you're not going to keep up with me. I just can't do it for a long duration.
If I had money, I'd come down there and show you something. I'd pull out my 80 millimeter turbo and bolt it on there before I came too.
Remember, I've got something bigger under the hood.
I'm lighter than you too, though.
Yeah, that's the only thing you got me on is the weight. I could always build another Cummins up before you get down here.
Oh man, I just for fun a few weeks ago I took the programmer out and I torqued it up a little bit. Saw one of the kids that used to be in my class and like, you got that thing tuned? And I said, I sure do. And I went to do a burnout and it was just a piss poor, pitiful burnout when I peeled out. Took off like a bat. Got down the road a little ways. I looked down. I had it damn 4-wheel drive. I was doing a 4-wheel burnout. Felt embarrassing.
That's the only kind of burnout you can do with my truck. You do just the back end. The back end tries to pass the front every time.
Well, that's what I was attempting to do just to show off. And I was like, I couldn't just light them up like I usually do. I didn't realize I had it in 4-wheel drive. Well, I had an auto 4-wheel drive, not true 4-wheel drive, I guess.
And mine has all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and there's no automatic setting on it. Pretty much, if I'm going to go romping on it, I have an all-wheel drive mode, unless it's wet and nasty, and I put it in 4-wheel drive.
My race car I've been working on, the 6.0 is about halfway built. I just talked to the engine builder. He said things are looking good for it. Getting all forged internals.
Nice.
Going to be putting about 30 pounds of boost to her next summer. She sounded good with the old 350 in her, but she's going to sound so much better with a turbo 6.0.
Hopefully you guys keep it together.
Well, it's all forged, so it's getting everything brand new. The one piece cam bearings, everything. I mean, we're going max on everything. We're going to start building our Power Glide here pretty soon. We got a case for one. We're going to build our own. You got your speakers on?
Speakers?
Yeah.
I have my headset on.
Okay. Can you see that? That's the project card. This is when it still had the 350 in it, though. It's just a test hit when I first put the electronic ignition in it. That was fun. Okay, I got to stop that right away. Here goes the next video. I don't have any good videos of it at the drag races, though.
That's a shame.
Oh, wait, I do have a drag race video of it. Hold on, I got to find it, though. Just give me a minute.
The one where you blew the motor up?
No, not that time. Well, it was, but the same day, but it was before we blew her. Is this it? Okay.
Where you
This
scattered it across the field?
No, this is a different time. This is when we still had the old engine before we put the LS in it. Okay, you watching? We're the white car. This is only a 1 minute video, so show some of the cars over there. That guy right there is fast.
Damn rear engine dragster.
Yep. There we are. Made the news.
Before or after you blew the car up?
I was proud that we made the news, though. Out of all the cars there's over 200 cars there.
Damn.
Yeah. Had a good time that day. Yeah, I forgot that we were on the news. Good times. I have some videos of it running, but they're on my phone, so I never uploaded them.
Yeah, but I have a few I haven't even uploaded yet. Just past, I was flying here night before last.
Oh, yeah?
Try to find it here. Where's the find the right button? Too much stuff going on here on the screen. What did I do wrong? There's that button. You'll get a kick out of this.
Okay.
So I haven't put it on. Haven't edited it yet. Tell me if it's too loud.
No, it's actually a little bit quiet. Of course, you're pretty far away. So.
Better. That's the way it was hosting it. We all went out to her place the other night to go fly. You can see how high the wind was. I didn't have to move forward or nothing to get it up.
That's nice. Here's my tree. I'm going to hit that tree. Go right. Go right. Ooh, a little crosswind, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
You handled it well though.
This is on an 80. This is, on my 130 I normally fly. Thing with that motor, it's underpowered for my weight.
Yeah, you're close to the same weight as me, I think, aren't you?
Right now I'm 215.
Yeah, we're within 5 pounds of each other. I'm 220. It's like a nice flying spot though.
Oh, it is. It's this lady's house out there. We went out. She invited everybody out just to go fly.
That's a nice person.
Her and her son are she just got her training.
Man, you really got to get them rings checked on that machine. It smokes everywhere you go.
Oh, I had the smoke machine turned on.
I know.
I wasn't even using my favorite smoke that night either. It was the thinner stuff. Stuff I like to use is like thick.
Remember a while back, Craig Taylor was looking for colored smoke?
Mm-hmm.
I did some research on that. There's only one colored smoke that you can easily make, but it's poisonous.
Yeah.
And I think it was purple, I want to say. Well, only one liquid that you can make smoke, like a smoke machine works, I should say. Yeah, I mean, you can light up a smoke grenade or something.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. If you want colored smoke, put smoke canisters on your boots.
But as far as a smoke injection, it's not feasible. I checked. I tried though.
Tried to find something to make smoke with.
Well, to make colored smoke, and it's almost impossible to do.
I think it's the part where I realized the neighbor was out in the back behind the house there in the driveway, them and their kid.
Uh-oh. You didn't fly over them, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Nice houses there. You smoked their house? You're something else there, man.
Oh, they come over earlier before we took off. We're talking to us.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we all had plans what to do. Yeah, Jeremy, if I'm going to dive down and do something, I'm going to turn the smoke on before I do it.
Yeah.
And I've learned if you come down just a little bit above idle, turn the smoke on,
Really?
it builds a bunch up the pipe. And when you ramp up, throttle hard, it really rips the smoke for about 20-30 seconds. So I'll level off and let it build and then just rip it open.
Oh. I was messing around with my diesel heater. I flooded it out. I took the shop vac to it the other day and I blew air into the intake on it.
Oh, that thing had to smoke like a freight train.
My goodness, the whole yard disappeared for a few minutes. Cleared out that heater though. Turbocharged that bad boy for a little while.
Yeah, watch you don't burn the exchanger up doing that shit.
I was careful with it. I just a little at a time till I got it cleared out and got it running. I mean, it was just so flooded that the glow plug couldn't fire it anymore, you know. Knock on wood, it's been running good ever since, so.
It's such a nice area to fly out there. You can't really see them in the distance. There's kind of like the sunline out there. There's a bunch of windmills out there.
You cannot be near your house.
What do you mean by that?
This looks nothing like the landscape around your house.
No, it's clear up in Columbus, 3.5 hours away.
Okay.
There's JP down there below me. Red, white, and blue wing.
I mean, I'm from North Dakota, and I was feeling sorry for you when I was at your house. Like, man, there's nowhere to fly here. Holy cow.
I can fly out of the backyard down that hill.
Yeah, but boy, it must be Rotor City in that area.
It is. That's why when I go fly in the flat areas and there's a little bit of rotor, it's like it's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful country, but boy, it's hilly and extreme landscape. Yep.
And we got the river to go fly over.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'd rather have that than hurricane force winds every day like I have.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys deal with that. There's nowhere to fly when you got winds like that.
Yep.
At one point, JP and I were doing tip bumps and playing around.
JP, he's got some talent, boy, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, he's crazy. I think it's the first time JP and I tried to get against each other. We did it like 4 times. We kept going around. First time he couldn't get, he has a hard time slowing down.
Okay. Well, he's got such a hot wing.
Yeah, it's all my wing can do to, all I do is slow mine down to get near him. This funny about flying with a group, you get to go chase each other. We just get in stacks and go chase each other around.
Yeah. You guys are all faster than me, so don't feel bad.
I don't know about that. This is where I wish I had the 130 because I couldn't make the turn hard enough. I was going to try to like spiral with him.
Yeah.
It was almost impossible. I can lay the wing 90 degrees to the ground, but I can't keep in that very long with that low power motor.
Lose too much altitude, huh?
Yeah, the minute I lay it over, it starts losing.
I think if you had a little higher efficiency wing, maybe. Like if you had a Charger or something, I bet you could keep it up.
My wing's very efficient. That's the problem. Mine's so lifty, but it takes horsepower to do it. On the 130, I can lay the thing clear 90 degrees and do a spiral.
I've never even.
80 doesn't know.
I've never even come in close to trying to do a spiral yet.
Well, spiraling down's easy. Spiraling like just totally sideways, not gaining any altitude is the trick.
Yeah. I mean, I've been flying for 2 years now, but I don't get many flights because of the weather here. So I'm just not ready yet. You know, I would consider myself like a first year pilot still.
Is there's bringing it over almost 90 degrees to the wind to the horizon. Like you build speed, come into a turn and yank it, it'll come over, but you can't hold it there. It just wants to level back out. You don't have enough speed. There's your tree pass for you.
There you go. I see you got a trike pilot there.
Oh yeah, we had a trike pilot out there.
At least you had one cool guy in the group.
He didn't step very long.
Really? You guys,
He
are
got
probably
up and he was on the ground before I got back down.
you guys are probably making a rotary for him. Wakes everywhere.
Oh, it wasn't that bad up there.
I mean, your wakes were probably bumpy as hell for him though. If he's a newer pilot.
No, he's been flying a year or two.
Oh,
Like him,
okay.
I was trying to kick the windsock.
Good way to impale yourself.
Oh, I kick windsocks all the time. I got good at that now. Now I had a friend stand out in the field when I was in PA a few days ago and was kicking her ham.
I was a few weeks back. I was running my machine around the yard, just keeping it fresh, you know, and freaking electric company had marked the power line through my yard, and I didn't realize that I hit one of their flags, chipped my prop.
Oh. Here comes JP for another attempt. All you gotta do is get beside him and hold it level for a little bit, and he'll come up and try to get you.
Yeah, he's really pulling the brakes.
It's so fun when you're up with a group like that, you know?
I
Everybody looks gliders.
wouldn't know.
You just have to keep a mental note of how many guys are in the air with you.
And where they're at.
And then you know how many you have up there, and then you're scanning for them. So you know you're like 3 over here, 3 over here. You know everybody's. It's when all of a sudden one goes missing. It's when you start like having an alert. Like where are they at? You're always worried about running into somebody. If you keep tabs where everybody's at, what they're doing, you kind of have an idea of which way to go. Practice my old days of air shows, coming around and lining up with everybody. You need to come down this way for like a week or so in the summer and just go flying.
I would love to. If I had my Nirvana, I would be able to do it easier. Wink, wink.
You'd have to come down here to get it and fly.
There you go. You'd hold it hostage, wouldn't you? You sucker.
Well, you come down here and fly my 80.
Yeah.
I'll fly circles around you on the 130.
Yeah, especially if I'm hauling my big 30-meter wing underneath that 80.
Yeah, you'd be going slow.
I think I'd still be within the weight range of my 30 meter with a backpack unit, but
I guess it's time we finally connected.
I'd be really at the bottom of the range.
It'd be.
It'd be close.
You could fly my 26.
Yeah. Well, it was at 27 they recommended for me anyway. It's only 3 meters bigger.
Oh, 26 with my with the 80 would get you in the air, no problem. The Mojo, it's slow.
Yeah. The slow Joe.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So here's
all
the
right.
fun parts of the flight when you get guys like this in line.
Yep.
Just-
As long as you're not in too close of a line, you hit wake.
Oh, there's a little bit there every now and then. That's why you go change height with each other a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, that one time
Or
I
stay
flew
just
with my
slightly
buddy,
aside.
I tried to stay above him just a little bit all the time, which was fine because he
I'm
liked.
more worried about the girl was in the purple one. I was worried about waking her because she was a new pilot. I always tried to stay where I didn't give her any weight.
Right.
I don't mind getting someone waking me, but I'd get right behind her. It didn't bother me. I know what it's going to feel like when I get hit with it.
Looks like she's in an ozone there. Huh?
No, she's in a Gin.
Well, Jen. What do they call it? The Falcon?
That's a Gin Bolero. Same thing that Nick Griffiths flies.
Okay.
Just a little bit
Not real.
larger than his.
I've heard of them. I'm not real familiar with them.
JP's got one. He's got a Gin Bolero. Or not a Bolero, calls it the Falcon.
Yeah, that's the one I heard of. I think that's like Hot Wing, Noah.
Fairly hot. It's a B. And Sean has one. It's not the Falcon, though. It's something else.
Yeah. Technically, my wing's a B.
It's a Pegasus. Is what Sean's flying.
Yeah. My Electra's a B. It's a crossover wing, though. It's half paragliding, half paramotor.
That's what mine is. Mine's a paragliding wing that's motorizers on it.
Mm-hmm.
The K2. The JP's going to foot drag the roof of the garage. We had a bunch of family over there out back taking photos. We were photobombing them.
Good times.
I don't know. It's more fun. It's fun to cut around the field by yourself. When you're out with another group like this, you can chase each other around. There's just something about it.
I bet.
There's quite a few times JP and I lined up and we're just follow the same path down through things.
Yeah. That time I went flying with that other guy that was on that video earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have comms with him. I was like, oh man, that would have been
That
so
was a
epic.
neat thing. None of us were in comms this night.
That would have been fun on that trip, though. We would have been on a lot longer trip if we had comms, I think. But he had forgotten something in his car, and he headed back to the airport. And I was like, oh, shoot. So I went back and I landed too, and he had planned on going right back up. But oh well, we ended early.
That happens, though.
It's a good thing I followed him back, though. His machine wouldn't start again anyway. That day. He had the old Kestrel.
The one that's known to have problems.
Yep. I think he flooded it because we pulled on that thing for 20 minutes straight trying to get it going and nothing. Now, I gotta say, my motor itself for being such an old motor, man, that thing has been good to me. I mean, it runs like a top. Simonini, I'm surprised if it wasn't so heavy, it'd be a perfect motor for people.
They come out with that Mini 2, which
Yeah.
is basically just built on top of what you got.
Yep.
And there
Oh,
goes the trike getting up.
Pretty much all they did was, I think they changed the carburetor and a few other things on it, on the Mini 2. Not much. And they added a silencer to the exhaust. Mine doesn't have a silencer.
Yeah, they refined it a little bit.
Yep. It's weird. I see pictures of people with paramotors. Everybody has a silencer, but mine doesn't have one. I'm like, did mine fall off? Why don't I have one?
Yours is the silent model.
There you go. It's not obnoxiously loud, but mine's noticeably louder than modern ones. Got more of a rumble to it.
Well, it's like the one I'm flying here at that top 80. They're so quiet. It's more prop noise than anything. I know if I took the wood prop off and put a carbon on, it'd be even quieter.
I need to get a new prop for mine.
But I'm very rarely at more than like half, 3/4 throttles all I fly it at. Only when I bank hard to a turn do I go wide open on it.
Oh, okay.
Especially when you're flying down low like this, you don't use much power.
Once in a while, though, when I hit sync, I'm at full throttle and I'm still dropping a little bit. Sometimes. It's not very often, though. It's kind
On
of
the tractor in the field.
Yeah, it's kind of an eerie feeling when that happens, though. That would be a backhoe, sir.
That'd be a target to leave smoke rings around.
I flew over a farmer a while back. Boy, he was hanging his head out, waving just as big as he could when I went by. He must thought that
Oh
was
yeah,
the
he was
coolest
out
thing ever.
waving.
Yeah.
That's why I see him out there going to feel like I'm gonna get down and smoke right in front of him.
I got a little carried away on that trip with that farmer. I got down right next to him. He was cutting hay. And, I dang near past eye level with him and went back up and I looked back and my cage was, the netting was just full of chopped up hay from getting thrown out of his tractor. Like, oops, that's a little close, sir. Better not do that anymore.
I've gone down a rate where earlier in the week I was flying. I was one eye kicking trees, and when I landed later on, there was trees all at the bottom of my netting, leaves and shit, branches. I'm like, I shouldn't be doing that low anymore.
Yeah, I've kicked trees the hard way before. I know all about that. That's no fun.
Well, it's like Sean was up there at Burden's flying, kicking soybeans and corn, and he come back, his shoes had green stuff all over them. You knew what he was doing.
I bet.
I was neat footage of him. He'd get out and he'd start kicking the beans, and he'd get on the throttle and he'd lean back, and you'd see the beans just part from the air blast. He's flying that big Kanguk with the 185 on it. It really moves some air. These near sunset flights are the ultimate, though.
It's the worst, Nick? When you come in for a motor out landing and you catch a huge crosswind right at the last second. That's the worst.
I've had a couple landings like that. I come in and
Where it
get
turns
that
you 90,
oh
90
shit
degrees.
moment.
You ever have
Mhm.
it? Yeah. I had that happen to me on my first motor out.
Well, I've had one when I was at Ormond Beach. I had to come in and turn 90 degrees to land. I was coming in crossways to the wind. I'd turn into the wind to land. We had to do it the last second. If not, you're in the water, or
Yeah.
you're laying crosswind the whole time down the beach.
Yeah. Yeah. I came in. I mean, just a huge gust. It just turned me 90 right at the last second. It was not
It's
fun.
never fun when you do that.
No, it was not fun. And I hit the trees. But
Don't
with
hit
motor out,
trees.
you have no choice. You go where God takes you at that point.
Sure, you glide in with it. Aim it to the wind.
I was attempting it at a time, but it
Well,
was an emergency landing, so I didn't have a lot of choices, you know. Now, I mean, I was a
I always
really,
I
really
like
low
flying
hour
around
pilot.
windsocks.
I was a low hour pilot at the time. I think if I had the exact same scenario right now, I wouldn't have hit the trees. That makes sense? Because I know a lot more now.
Yeah, now you get more experience.
Mm-hmm. All I was doing at the time was, oh my God, my motor went out. I see a field, I'm going for it. Then I got down really low and I realized, wait a minute, I'm crosswind and bad shit's happening.
These fields here are weird because they rolled up and down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A couple times I got spooked, had to get a little brake on. I realized the hill's climbing up, and I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah. If I had that crash flight over again, I know I would have turned around and the second my motor out, I went downwind and then hooked around and came in upwind on the way down. That would have been the ultimate because I would have had plenty of field, no problem.
You know, lose altitude and then get
Yeah.
into the wind.
Yeah, I'd went downwind all the way to the other side of the field and then hook a 180 and drop her in, you know. That's what I would
Well, I
have
had
done.
a motor out when I was in Kansas, so on this motor, my first flight on it.
It's
And the minute it
spooky.
went out, I just turned it right into the wind and tried to glide it. And I tried to glide way further than I could. And
Didn't make it.
no, I didn't make it where I wanted to land. I walked like 4 football fields to wing above me through rough, high grass and everything. Anything out here, it's so flat you can see everything.
Yeah.
Different than flying around home, right? You gotta go up and down over top of stuff.
My son-in-law was looking at a car to buy it today, and this young couple come up to show him the car, and he bought it. They were in the garage, you know, with the heater talking about it. The wife of the kid says, "Let's buy this airplane from this guy instead of a new car." She's like, I said, if the price is right, dear, it's for sale.
What do you have in there?
I just had my trike in the garage.
Oh, okay.
She saw that. She's like, "Is that an airplane?" I'm like, "Yes, it is, sort of." And I explained to her how it worked and stuff. She was just amazed. I want this. Screw your Dodge Challenger, she told him. Uh-huh.
It breaks it into multiple sections.
Oh yeah.
The only problem with the GoPro, it separates everything out.
Yeah, mine does the same thing.
First, I've really seen the video too.
That sunset was pretty, for sure.
Oh yeah. And I recorded the whole thing and with this camera and with the 360 camera on my chest. I just finished downloading it earlier tonight. I haven't even looked at that one yet. We were originally supposed to go flat over a lake out there, but everybody just stayed around the farm and buzzed around. Look at this house over here in the center of the frame. Big concrete driveway.
Nice.
Ooh. It's definitely a great place to fly. I'll go up there again. Even though it's a 3.5 hour drive away. We definitely used every ounce of the sun.
I guess.
And when I landed, I could have stepped by another 20 minutes and it would have got too dark to even see. When I tried to do a foot drag landing, it didn't work the best.
You ended up on your knees again?
No, I was on my feet. I started a foot drag and it turned into a landing. I lost too much speed and
Yeah.
the wind had dropped more than it was earlier in the night. And
Should have foot dragged that pool on the way in.
I thought of it. Problem was there was a deck on the back side of it.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, my plan tonight, I was trying to get a flight in tonight and wind was just too low for I wouldn't take off. I was going to get on a flight under the bridge here in Steubenville.
That trike looks like a pretty nice one.
Yeah, it's one of those, what the hell name that one is. It's got the arched front bars on it.
Well, I'm gonna be purchasing a TIG welder pretty soon. I'll be able to do my own repairs on my frame.
Are you going to finally get the equipment you need to do the repairs yourself instead of having to con someone at the school into doing it?
Exactly. I told my buddy, I said, we're building race cars all the time, and we're farming out all of our welding right now. Why not just get the dang welder and do it our own? I mean, it'd be so much easier in the long run.
Yeah, save the money.
And then he had the bright idea that if we get into the business of building roll cages, we can make money.
Oh, so you're going to try to build roll cages?
He wants to. The other, there's one other guy in the state that does them, and he's like 2-year backlogged on them right now for making them.
Damn.
So there's plenty of call for it apparently. Then I can learn to weld titanium, start making paramotors.
Weld
That's-
stainless and make them out of that.
Just think of that though, man. That's got to be nerve-wracking learning to weld titanium, how expensive it is, you know, just to practice on it. Oh,
I got a bunch of tubing around here to practice on.
oh, the one you crashed?
No, I got a buddy of mine works at Timet. He got me some tubing to rebuild mine. He's
Really?
supposed to come up one of these days. He's going to come teach me how to weld on it.
I hear that stuff's super duper expensive. I heard
Yeah,
the secret is a lot of post-flow gas. You almost got to hold the gas on there until it cools off completely.
Yeah, and it's a lot of argon.
Mm-hmm. Because if it has any heat in it at all, when you let off, it corrupts it. That it gets like a rainbow color when it's welded bad.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of YouTubing on it. I've never actually welded it yet.
Well, he welds it every day. It's just finding time for us to get together and do it.
If I started building my own frames, I'd probably primarily go into aluminum, just for the ease of it. Aluminum is less or more fragile, but you know, cut it off and weld a new piece on when it breaks. You know.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I hear your bird squawking again.
Is he? I got my headphones on. I miss it sometimes. I usually give him heck when he does. One went to bed already, but the other one's still up.
Aren't they usually?
Yeah.
If there's light on, they're awake and making a racket.
Oh, I see. Her foot was stuck in her toy. That's what she was squeaking about. She got it out now.
Her foot was stuck in her toy.
Yeah, she has like a little plastic chain with a bell on the end of it. She throws it around and fights with it. Got stuck on her. Yeah, this bird loves toys. She has toy balls and she throws them around, scratches the back of her head with them, all kinds of stuff. Conures are very active birds. I'm surprised more paramotor pilots don't have pet birds.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
Oh, she's mad because she's locked in her house for the night. She roams around the house if I don't lock her up at night, though.
He gets into trouble.